I got that turned in wrong.
Yeah, do that corner in third gear.
Oi.
And I think you do. Before you go to Magus and Beckers.
What about
I'm doing it in third in the cup car as well.
this thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that was me spinning. Don't worry.
My feet hurt. Let's hope that
Oh,
this is okay.
And then I was like, yeah, it's me that's spinning right in front of you. Don't worry.
guys, I just cut across stone. My lap's not invalid.
Know that feeling.
23.
Like, I cut the grass. So, as
That's
a
a bit
man who's
warmer.
fair, I've, like, completely accidentally, I meant on purpose, sorry, fuck, fuck the next exit.
Let us go. Oh, not that much.
Ah, fine. Why don't I just didn't brake? I legit thought that.
Gotta remember to brake. Braking is good.
Just don't break me.
Taking out the left-hand sign for the going into the final two corners.
Yeah. It's very annoying.
Yeah, I don't strictly use it, but it's a very good marker as a.
It's
I
all
can't
I've
be
got.
bothered to count the amount of curbs I've gone past.
Why are you?
Hey, I have outlet AC in front of
I was taking fucked up line from Magus and Beckers because that just seemed like the way to gate on.
Sides are left part, right sides are covered.
I've just lost 2 attempts to jamming because
Go ahead.
I followed the racing line that it told me
Thanks,
to.
AC.
No worries.
Oh, now I'm down.
Oh, sorry. I tried to get way out of your way.
As 10 penalty points.
Oh, store! Fuck you!
I was realising these back markets, as Chris said, they don't
We
know
are
how
the
to
back
rotate.
markets.
Yeah,
Yep.
they
gonna
don't
be
know how to rotate
interesting.
back markets. It's going to get
Uh-huh.
sent to fucking oblivion.
Entirely possible.
Yeah, it's how I was to start with, and I slowly learned. I kept taking the GCNs out early. And I slowly learned how they drive and how to get around them.
Didn't you crash it last week?
Nope. I did hit Stretz last week when he decided to not accelerate out of the corner. He was trying to let me through, and I didn't know that, so he just didn't accelerate out of the corner, and I just went straight to the back of him because I
Oh,
accelerated and he didn't.
you also aim for the apex where he currently is.
Yeah.
Yes, because he didn't accelerate away from it like expected. I wasn't trying to pass him at all at that point. You expect a car that's already on the apex to not be on the apex when you get there.
I mean, he's not wrong, to be fair. Oh, you've got an apex, it's great.
It's funny though.
Tell you what it is. Dumb. Yeah.
That's like seething hate already. It's amazing.
Losing time set to 3. You know what, Jeff? Fuck it up, right? Ah! It doesn't fucking turn either anymore. It's turning permanently and then just that left.
Yeah, I think I'm just doing pressures and brake bias and then I'm done. That's it. That's my fantastic setup.
I'm very happy with that. I even know 10 that you rate once does. I've never fucking done it.
It makes the rear more unstable.
Oh,
But
wow.
also you
That's,
can brake later.
Yeah, but you can brake later with it.
wow, that's going to be a huge problem in this. Fucking crap. I mean, I hope all the cars don't need to go back.
I just know Dingo was very funny when he did it.
So, fine.
Do you think
reality-
Black will stop flavouring?
Probably not.
Maybe. I see you two starting to laugh.
I'm coming in tomorrow.
Well done, mate. Russell the best.
Leaving over only towards the edges. My rear tyres are going to be shot with how I'm driving. That's going to make it even more difficult controlling the traction.
That was very mean, I'm sorry.
And I'm not with some of the stuff I come out with.
Fair point.
Alright, improvement again. There's that gap.
There it is.
No.
Oh shit, I was gonna be so close here, I didn't fucking turn. How was that like, Jimmy?
You generally have to remember to turn the
Yellow
car.
flag in sector 1. Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Did you overcook it, Ciento?
Yep.
James. A yellow flag.
No, I'm not a yellow flag. I'm in the pit lane. How am I a yellow flag?
Oh wait, no, I've heard it.
I'm in the pit lane, mate. I'm a yellow flag.
I mean, I can tell you tell it what because your two numbers are similar.
My number has always been the same. There's not been a single race where it's been
Oh, now it's my turn to overcook it, Ciento.
Yeah, mine's usually been 22, but I thought I should check 'cause it's a default car livery. Oh, that's an interesting place for that sign now. Okay. The pit exit sign is now on the apex of Maggers and Beckett's.
Going on an adventure.
You're surprised what?
I'm proud of
Why?
you. Look,
Yeah. 2057. I've got 205 flat once before. But
I nearly have a 202.
202? Merely.
Nearly.
That's
Yeah,
oh, nearly. That makes way more sense. Yeah, 2031. Yeah, that's really good.
Just need to prove it over 2.5 seconds to get into the
Ha!
I think it's very unfair how that lap was unfolded. It's very annoying because I proved by a fair amount.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Into this front right.
That's how that's done.
Don't.
Wait, let's go into two. Is that a bad idea? That feels like a very bad idea.
No. I mean, it will mess with your pressures and you'll have to redo your pressures.
Good point.
My pressures are too high. They're too damn high. Yeah, I will be turning them down soon.
I've pretty much got all of them right now, apart from the front right, which I'm still messing with, which is being a pain.
Oh, as if using my setup from last time, you may have to mess with the brake ducts if you can't get the temperatures under control.
I should be fine. I just need to. The temperatures of my tires are, I think, okay.
Just balance the PSI to 27.5, and then if it ends up looking a bit too like off green, then you're gonna have to mess with the brake ducts. Oh,
Chris,
hey.
I really wish I didn't stop where I stopped with Wish last night. I have the tab still open. I've scrolled down a bit and I've just seen Jesus is not a religion, it's a relationship.
Oh God.
With like feathers and rainbows and birds. And shit.
Okay.
I need £2.68 as well.
Nice, a deal. was legal. How was that legal?
Just watch some people drive. I just had to pray for a good start and slipstream, basically, to stay in this.
Well, this was interesting. If you can keep up with the pack, I reckon it's anyone's game between GT4, and we'll just keep swapping places.
Hopefully we can slipstream enough each other to the point where we catapult ourselves into a position where we can actually like overtake an amateur driver.
Might happen. Well, no, probably not actually.
Stretch you probably can. Izzy will be close, but probably not.
I love my PC just being like, yo, I could have been in the middle of a lap there and I had a massive notification pop like, yo lad, you've got too much shit on your PC.
I had one that said, by the way, NVIDIA has a new driver. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
I forgot to put the NVIDIA updater thing on my computer, so for 6 months it had no updates.
Alright, Sianto, here you go. Try and overtake Crispy. Go on,
Hey,
go on.
Lambert.
Fight each
Lambert,
other, don't just let him pass.
We're on about all this permission shit going on. This is qualifying.
Right, yeah, but like, I want to see how easy it is for an AM to overtake the best pro with the car advantage.
Oh,
Not
and did not give me any space in that corner in the slightest.
Also on the inside though.
Yeah, I know, but you can't just. Never mind. I kind of saw it coming, but we're in quality, so we're in my lap anyway.
I think we should practice.
yeah, that's literally why I said do it.
Like, if us, like...
Here's making me the sacrifice, love it. Love it. Love it.
If us GT4 drivers go out, obviously
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, if you want to take the
entire
inside,
front
you also have to move outside to some degree and take a slower speed around the corner.
Gonna
not the
say,
usual
that
speed.
is the point of this season,
Yeah.
is for them to learn this stuff.
It's almost like the point of the season requirements has been proven.
Tell you what, Crispy,
Yeah.
that was your fault.
Well, that.
Yeah.
What did I do? Turn in too early or something?
I'll stream my screen. I'm fairly confident of that one being your fault.
I kind of want to see.
Alright. Oh, just, I mean, just... Oh, are you on the left?
No, I was going out to the tennis trying to take me. She said, yes.
Alright, well, tell me when you're watching.
I'm watching as well.
But yeah, I was under the assumption you could turn harder than I could.
He can. Like, this is actually really good from Sianto.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd argue right there he's ahead of you.
He's ahead of me. Just.
And, like, there's the argument that he wouldn't have made the corner, but at this point, like, he's ahead. Pretty sure Sianto's on the brakes as well at this point as well.
I could have taken
He's not.
slightly
Oh
a
no,
bit-
he's not on the brake!
I could have taken curves just a bit.
You can see I had no break that corner.
I never break there.
Oh yeah, normally when you have the line it's easy, but when you hold the inside you usually have to take it at a slower speed. That's the only way to make
Like,
it.
this cutback though was pretty good. Yeah, I'd say here you would have to...
I'm sorry.
I would say, Sianto, you would need to brake there because of you've got a tighter line than the standard. But I would also say that
Yeah, I would have won it.
That was maybe Chris's fault.
Fair enough. But yeah, I would have won it run it wide, but I'm in quali trying to do quali, and Lambert's like, race him! So I was trying to keep it valid, and I knew that if I had gone any wider, yeah, I would have gone off the track, and I would have been dead lap.
I'll refrain from trying to do more of this stuff during the form.
That's alright.
Enjoy all
Anyway,
that
Lambert,
stuff.
you're gonna get out on track and race Sianta then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to go faster than this piece of shit.
No, who should go up first?
Doesn't matter. He can take us both. Let's go.
Melody!
You as well. Go in front.
Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everybody. We're currently
I'll
qualifying,
overtake you, and he can overtake us both.
and I'm trying to make my car make sense to me, but I've done a boo-boo, I think, but I'm not sure. I need to check. How's everyone doing? What we playing?
ACC.
Slow simulator.
Not us, you dingbat.
How do we solve
Hi! How are you doing?
Even Stretz is gonna beat us.
Well,
This pace, no.
No, Stretz was doing 2:12s.
Da, 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 da. I gotta try and make this lap. Da, 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 da. Don't fuck it up. Dun, dun.
that means get pushed forward.
No.
Just ended the stream. Yeah, what were you streaming, Mil?
Christ.
Oh
That was
God,
my
it's
question.
me.
Sorry, Lambert.
162
I
to
knew
go
I had to
through.
like let you have that one.
My tire's
Is
full,
it
so
the-
Yeah, maybe go
I
back
don't-
behind us until our tires are warm, but it takes us like 2 laps.
Not if power slides.
The front tires, yeah, that's hard to expect.
This is it. Minecraft, awesome. Vanilla? Was it your server you were playing?
Sign still gets me.
This is where he's
crap.
so easy to get.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh my.
No! I fucked it, guys. I gone and fucked it.
When the pub
Yellow flag in sector 1.
I'm currently
With
doing
our
donuts on the apex of
Your server, awesome.
Magazine
Tell you what, that's
Maggots.
some side-by-side shit from my perspective.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I tried to go.
I'm
Alright,
excited
go back
for the
behind us
new
and
year
then,
when we
yeah,
get
so
our
we
new
get-
server back up. When we get our vanilla server. Are you going to be the Excite? Because I am. Oh, I lost all my time! What a dickhead! Roleplay once 1.18 is out. Oh, so you're getting that new server and we're getting a new server? That's going to be a lot of new servers. Whew. Are you saying we're going to lose you to that one? Saying that, I'm never really on our server more than once a week anyway. I was on it last night, actually.
Your hard 5th gear is so chuggy.
Yeah, I saw the complaining about the claims of being broken again.
Yeah, they got annihilated. Charles had to like nuke my claims so that I could then reclaim them. It was all really awkward.
What game's that?
This is Minecraft.
It's also where he met his wife.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
I didn't know that part. Don't have.
Yeah.
His wife?
He met his wife on Minecraft, yeah.
Sam is married.
Oh, not a new server. Right, got ya.
Until you get that fucking tattoo, it's not
Thank
official.
you.
It's not official until then, mate. You can do what I want.
Dee 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 dee. Oh shit. I keep fucking this up so hard!
This is where Seattle probably gets that.
I'm going defensive, fuck this.
At least my PC won't die. Yeah. That's
My
true
bum.
enough.
It's okay, but I left.
Oh no. Santo, don't do it. You can't overtake at the cops. Nobody puts a dozer in the middle of cops.
Everyone knows that!
Stop so far.
51G!
Yellow flag, be careful there.
I just see the map.
Oh my god.
5-second time penalty.
What? I didn't even hit him.
That doesn't matter!
I was amusing himself.
Against him behind me. They can both try this.
God, these cars are so bad.
Mate, it shouldn't be possible to crash
No, I went in head first to increase the G's.
Well, you got into the car head first. Your hands are on the pedals.
Yeah, no, sure.
That's what I thought you meant.
No, I went head first into the bloody barrier.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Landing validated.
Oh, just me. Oh shit, it's an idiot in the M1.
Oh no, yeah. I
I've got
felt
bullet
that
fly.
going. Yeah, I'm gonna have real issues by the end of the race for spinning.
You've done well there to not try and send up the inside. Hold the inside line. Ah, he switched me there. Nah, he's actually taken that really well. I'm not doing a Chris. Oh, I've been bodied fucking off wide though.
Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I was actually just really good. He just pushed me wide.
It's just the extent you push it wide is what matters.
Oh, but I've got him back.
He's got him back.
Oh my god, he's trying to rear end my arsehole. Get away from me.
I'm sorry, what?
Is he backing into you?
Defensive driving.
I somehow heard that as rimming and not rearing.
I mean, that's essentially what he was getting at.
That may have been a bit too defensive driving wise, but I don't care.
Slow car ahead.
You can not send it down the inside here. That is a terrible idea.
Don't mind me doing donuts.
Are they tasty donuts?
No.
Oh,
Why you
sad.
did
Well, this is where he gets it. This insane defensive driving again.
The rubber
there's
smells
literally nothing
horrible.
you can do there.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right. Oh fuck.
Yeah, something like that.
So, Mill, how did the rest of your birthday stream event thing go?
Happy birthday.
Happy
It
birthday,
was. No, not me.
Happy birthday, the
It was Millane's birthday, not mine.
Yeah, so that's not me. But
I saw you just take him out.
yeah, that's on me. But apart from that, that's really good.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
You were defending so hard.
Yeah, no,
He needs to in that car.
mate, I was literally swerving all over the place on anything. No, here. Nice little green. None for you.
This stream's less effective than using freeze anyway. It still helps, but it's less effective.
I think the only reason we feel it, we don't feel anything else.
Millane! Are you still here?
Happiness, sadness, what are these? I feel nothing.
I feel nothing.
Okay.
What are you talking about, man?
What's going on Instagram? It's the first thing that comes up.
Don't. Sounds like a load of bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit.
I didn't realize this, but if he just created a 204,
Yeah. 2047.
still a 204.
Yeah,
I'm
it's still
working
very
on-
good lap time.
I'm
Yeah.
working on my
Game is the same.
tyres still.
They're still giving him another 3 games after that 5-0 dropping.
Apparently, SAF.
Safe.
Oh wow.
Lab doesn't work unless we try.
I knew it was at the game. You saw his expression when it went 5-0.
You look like you want to hit
Yeah.
Well, is Stress and some of the other guys still coming, or is this it?
At Strats or something, I don't know. Yeah.
There's a cone on the apex there now. Okay.
It's my favourite cone, leave him alone. His name is Jeffrey, and we've been best mates since 4 laps ago. I have no idea which cone he's referring to. I literally am just talking so much shit you don't believe. No.
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 We need the day to stop bitching.
If us AMs bitched as much as the pro drivers, Jesus Christ, you guys would never have any fun.
Yeah.
Yellow
Do
flag.
you hear the
Watch
TV
out in
playing?
front.
No. Do you hear Hamilton Yes.
It's not quite.
Actually, a lot
true.
of that is down to them playing the radios and not showing all the radios.
I'm fully a robot.
Listen, don't let the logic and the truth get in the way of Ant having a good fucking story.
And look at this absolute murder. Like, it is literally attempted murder.
There's been a murder!
It's actually disgusting, like, you know, 51G and all that, and yeah, so I mean... Don't put your nose up the inside of cops!
I don't even know which one Cops is!
The one where Hamilton and
I know! I still don't know which corner it is!
You're a meter away.
Shut up.
Can I see your acceleration?
No, I don't go
Why is that?
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Are you now about to watch the
Yeah, that's what I was literally looking for.
I don't think you're ready how defensive their words.
Would it be illegal in F1?
Almost definitely.
He took up the entire road with his one car.
Tell you what, the battle is like quite a few corners insane. Even take that. Basically, if you did my line there, I would have killed him.
How the fuck did you get back here? Oh, that's how.
I feel like Milanese is either gone or ignoring me, either of which are quite unhappy making.
You're like, nah, I disagree, mate. That's rude.
Well done, mate. You're still the best.
And then you just get to go this next straight, you know.
You both got the con.
Yeah, but if you both do it, then it's fine.
I still try it here.
You just extend the racetrack between the two of you, you know?
Are your cars the same in that when you go from first to second doesn't actually turn off the pit limiter in these cars?
I mean, yeah, I drive the entire lap of the hill run, mate.
Ah, that explains a lot!
Well, actually, try it here. Yes, and this is right.
Bitch, try again. Big disc.
Why would you do that?
Bit. It's a meme weekend.
Find some entertainment.
I see. I mean, have you tried maxing out the front camber and then just going on a drift run?
No,
Horizon's good fun, but the realism's like kind of out the window for 90% of it.
Horizon
But-
Zero Dawn.
That is what makes it good fun, to be fair.
It's also, yeah, what makes it very interesting, especially with like, because I was messing around with setup in it, and we were getting this like Mosler up to like ungodly speeds. Because it's like,
That voice
Just-
still makes sense.
well, since there's no tire wear in the entire game, I was just like, all right, so how much camo do you want? Well, all of it, obviously, because there's no tire wear. How much tow do you want? All of it, because there's no tire wear. And we ended up with this ridiculously twitchy car that could take any corner at any speed. It was so good.
Izzy is getting so fucking close.
Yeah.
She's over a second behind you, mate.
Yeah, but at the end of last season, literally a week ago,
Ah.
she was 3 seconds slower.
Yeah, but compared to those times, so was Seattle.
Whereas I don't think that's the right way.
I already validated that.
Fucking up on that corner.
Times invalidated.
Damn
Well,
it.
that's the rest of it.
Have it.
Got some light.
I just fucked up on my corner.
Those beat
Sad.
Lambert, and all they need is that ridiculous tiny gap of time.
Yeah, I've given up. It's just whatever.
He don't care.
It's not pole,
If
so
we
it
don't
doesn't
care,
matter.
we don't care. You know what it should be? The GT4 should start in the lead.
That sounds like an awful idea.
I know.
Sounds like an awful idea, but at the same time, not an awful idea.
An awful idea, but it's great for meme week.
It's. Look, he says that as a joke.
Meme
but
week is next week.
Who
Hear
said
me
it
out.
as a
Yeah.
joke?
Wait, can we use GC3s in meme week?
Do whatever in the meme week. I don't really know what we're gonna do yet. Well, I know one thing is that there's a elevating weather in the Doom Cup, and whatever Izzy happens, well, possibly Izzy draws 2 things potentially, and they just add on. So it'd be like rain goes up by 0.1. Cloud
So if
goes
you
up by
guys want to
0.1.
pay me,
Stuff like that.
I am accepting all bribes.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah. How much?
Tier 2 sub.
Tier 2.
Yeah?
Isn't that 25 quid?
I don't think so.
Switch
No!
to
Three's
25.
3 is
10
25 quid. Yeah.
I think that's against Twitch's terms of service.
It's a sub reward. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
£10 for tier
Sub reward, bribe. I mean,
Tier
the line
three
is pretty
typically
blurred.
5.
Yeah, as if Amazon cares about breaking the law.
Oh my god! Is that Brandon and Milkshake Raid again? Hello!
Between us.
That's all you really need to know about Amazon. Good delivery.
Hi guys! Do you want to see
Yeah,
me
the
drive
only reason
car
it's a good delivery
fast?
service is because they abuse their workers.
Yeah, like.
But cargo fast, guys. Cargo fast.
Cargo fast.
It was.
Yes.
Brum brum! Get out the way! Boop, 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 boop. This is the car alarm.
Good job, mate.
I sat there for 8 hours a fucking day screwing on bits, man. Talking to no one. No you.
Brandon is shouting numbers
No,
at you.
you
57, 93,
Even
83,
job at fucking
11, 23. Why is everything end in 3?
It's meant to happen. The radio didn't work.
I don't know.
We had
95.
protective ear headphone things, but they also
7?
had radios in them.
Why
To
7?
downshift when I hit the brakes.
Uh-oh!
So an awful lot of Finnish music, but also
That was
Finnish
unintentional.
radio stations play an awful lot of
Whee!
English music, so it's surprising.
Did a little bit of a spinny win?
On the floor, on the factory floor, is like listening to the same radio station.
Everybody
we all
hit the
just
floor.
sing. Because it's freezing cold, because we were packing fucking shit. Everyone on the same radio
What?
station.
Frozen
walking
book.
along to the same track. It's camaraderie and all that.
Camaraderie? No camaraderie.
It's it's a shit job, but we're doing
Brandon,
together.
I'm not
like coal miners.
female dogging. What?
Oh, I just see a Seattle.
What are you on about,
So,
Milkshake?
braking spot correct without the sign.
Yeah, if you switch that sign out, I have to.
Milkshake, what are you talking about? You're bitching? Oh, yeah, you
sure
are
it was
bitching.
you.
I get it. I get it. It does sound like bitching, if I'm honest.
So you're blaming me when it was you.
said it might have been.
It's not fucking on a celebrity. It's not like it might be.
Where is Strats? He's got 8 minutes.
Call him.
My ex-teammate, where is he?
Where's Josh?
He was here and then he
He
wasn't.
usually.
Brandon isn't increasing your chat activity, you pick his side. I mean, I just said it sounded like bitching. Like. Also, plus, causing you to get offended and have an argument is milkshake.
Hey Josh.
Standard.
Standard. I'm here, see?
By the way, Izzy, you should have been there yesterday.
I can only just about hear you. I should have been there yesterday when what?
We were on wish.com.
Oh, no. I heard
Chill,
things.
No. Yes, that's fine.
We saw
Yeah,
some
I
very
didn't.
interesting things. Mainly headlamps. Torches.
Yeah, I heard about headlamps and lumens. That was topic of conversation last night. My only input was, I don't think that's how lumens work.
What, you mean you can't get a 100
Oh.
billion?
Yeah, I made the conclusion
Not-
that
not
what they were
that
doing
way.
is they had a rating for one of them, and they just decided to like multiply it for some reason.
Oh, first world problems. You've only got one monitor. Get on that, Brandon. Come on.
What else did we see on that? A lot of sex toys, to be honest. That was quite annoying. You try, you know, browse Wish with that shitty McLaren Photoshop conflict.
How can you be sure that they were sex toys unless you've tried them?
Well,
It said so.
I'm sorry, I don't read instructions.
Actually, I remember it said it was a multi-function tool for men and women, not a sex toy.
Yeah. was it a healing tool or something? They called it.
I don't know.
What's
That's what it
healing
said.
tool?
Multi-function.
The plot
You
thickens!
can use it in so many ways.
It's not the only thing that
lamp. You see that thing moving in the back of your car?
Is it his car? Or his wheels? Or all the things that should be moving?
I mean, with that
Don't
flag-
believe him, he's like, where is my PG family stream gone? It was never a PG family stream, come on now.
You can take your
That's why it says mature at the start of all my
I
strands.
thought you was going to say and shove it up your ass.
Shove it up your
that's
asshole!
No,
If you
that's
take it out of the
facts.
kitchen first, then we're all cool. Do that.
Don't make me go watch Moana whilst eating comfort food and crying in a manly manner. How do you cry in a manly manner? Please explain.
I need some lightsaber and SOS from
Like, what specifically about it makes it manly than just normal crying? That's what I want to know.
It's a man doing it.
Oh, that makes sense, you know.
Stretch won't be here. He's got home. And he thought that was a sprint race, but it's not.
Oh no.
Move 1 hour race, am I?
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
There's no pistons.
How long did tyres last?
By drinking
They
Fosters.
can do the full
Drinking
hour.
Fosters and crying. Does that make it manly crying? Okay.
Oh, hour, no.
Oh no, I went wide! What the ticket?
What are we doing a stream in 50 minutes?
Ow.
10 minutes is not enough time to get enough data.
In my opinion, if we do this will be like possibly one of the better ways to do the balance in the series.
Ow, I
'cause
have
The
headache.
number of mistakes will go up for silver over time, and also
Ow.
same for AM.
Ow.
So I think
They're going to try and push them when realistically they could land 4 times here and still win.
yes, but then they have the option of that, and then that's like a however long it is for a pit stop, a minute extra down.
Josh and James.
It may self-balance. I don't know.
Josh and James. Have you seen the actual store the prices of a pack of match tape?
No.
Mate, they're £2 a packet.
Jeez.
Did you know Brandon
I never did.
pardons...
My brother collected them, but I didn't.
What are you talking about, man?
Match pack collector. They wouldn't spell it infamously, depending on how well I did, I'd get a set of match packs as well.
Oh, well that's a funny one.
This is what happens when people actually have money to spend on stuff that isn't food.
Sure.
That's literally all we could afford when we were young. Was we could just about afford the weekly shop.
I
but that
don't
was it.
understand what you mean, so that doesn't mean anything.
James, oh, I know what that's like as well. Don't worry. You gotta remember,
All I
was pretty
heard
young
was
still.
all I heard was Magitech, and I was like, what the hell is Final Fantasy doing here?
It's
Basically,
football.
Match Attack to like a pack of football cards. It's like a real life FIFA pack.
Match attack isn't that like Taskmaster's signature move? You do something and it matches your attack.
Oh, my move just disconnected.
I
Like,
saw that. I was watching it at the time.
huh?
Fix it quick. You
Yeah,
got
lad.
2 minutes.
Yeah, you will. Time to watch.
I've got
it.
one already.
I know, but like.
Wait, like you're 1.3 seconds off me in quali. In the race, you're probably just going to be right up to speed because you usually are.
Well,
You
if
should ask Brandon about it.
if
He's
us
probably
three-
better explained. I don't know what you mean by
if us
pardons.
three stick together, right?
I think the game crashed.
Boys. We need to have a discussion.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
completely.
calling a
I got-
drivers
I've-
meeting.
I'm
Like,
proposing we just go line astern.
See that? Just open Task Manager, close the game, open it up.
You
quick.
pardoned a
Open it.
criminal.
can't-
I
I
don't think you
can't-
have that power.
The task manager isn't on the right monitor.
We're gonna have to restart this session, unfortunately. I took a screenshot at the time, so.
You don't have that
Hang on,
power,
hang on.
Brandon.
The order as well, so you know.
Yeah.
Okay, I've right clicked those windows.
just on
But
it.
See if he can make it. He's got 1 minute 30.
I can keep going to try and
Right.
stall it a bit more.
While Josh does this, drivers meeting of the pro drivers. Lads, hear me out. If you all stick together, we all get slipstream, which means you can all just catapult each other. We're all benefiting.
Or, hear me out, we all go really slowly, side by side. They have to overtake us off track.
The track.
That's a fucking penalty.
Oh mate, no, that's a class idea. We all just roll out as one unit.
We do actually have to beat them into the first corner.
Do you have this power? I do.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think
like,
just
you
saying
make
you
him
have it
crash-lapping
makes
you.
it so, Brandon.
Right, James is on a hot lap, so you should be alright, Josh. James, do not
Oh,
fucking invalidate.
yeah, I almost invalidated it in turn 1. I'm a second off already through turn 1, but
James, just take it slow.
No, but Trump had that power to
Who
pardon
else been
people.
missing except Stress? I feel like we're missing another person.
bingo.
No, not even Dingo. I know Dingo was on there last. But did we only have
Josh.
people last year?
Josh.
Josh is
only-
Josh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Josh.
And,
well done.
Knight, I
what's my-
guess.
yeah, Knight.
Is Knight ever coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs his laptop fixing though, doesn't he?
He's got
No,
a
it's
face.
fixed.
Anne, are you in the Aston?
No.
No, mate.
No.
Why?
Oh, he made it!
What kind of
Yeah.
Wyvern racing is this?
Are we still part of a team? I don't realise.
It's multi.
I'm-
You've branched out, right? You did so well in the previous
tyre
championship.
pressure is going to
you
be
bought a new car.
who fucking knows.
You're around 22.
Honestly,
Across the
safe
board,
setup,
we'll
safe
sort
setup
of
is pretty
figure
good.
How much fuel do you think we'll need?
I got 81.
90.
I remember rightly, the left
Because
One of
we
us
get
is
like
wrong.
quite
One of
fun.
us is right.
the left ones were the cooler tyres, and then the right ones.
What car am I even
Or
in?
higher.
Porsche.
No, left rear is the one that overheats.
Porsche.
Yeah.
I'm decreasing my ride height. I'm not trusting that in the race.
What is it
70
to
litres.
increase? Lower your understeer. I got too much understeer.
What brakes? Brake
There's not
People
much
got brake
aero.
ducts pretty high?
I got
Raising the
5.5.
rear can increase the rake and make it a
5.5?
bit more oversteery, but
I'm on
there's
3-3.
not much aero.
All right, cool. I'll go 3-3 then.
Milk Court prisons always catch fire,
Yeah,
Milkshake.
fuel,
I'm
how
surprised
much
there's
is it?
any
Max
left.
fuel, I guess. Max fuel?
Something like it's something
Max
between
fuel's
80 and
great.
90.
All right,
Yeah,
we're,
I've got-
we're 96 then.
The fuel calculator thing is recommending 88. Safe is 91.
30 seconds.
We're
Oh,
gonna
fuck
get
it.
lapped. So I mean,
I'm putting in 95.
I love my ice cold tyres.
And then,
Yeah,
like,
good
oh
drive,
yeah, we
by
don't
the
have to. We don't have to fiddle around. Fuck it.
20
Yeah,
seconds.
here we go. Click and drive already. Earliest time I've ever done it.
You can see who min max
10
is here.
seconds.
Yeah.
What do you mean, all of us?
You do setups? Min-maxer.
Go in double file.
Heat them
Santo?
fuckers up.
Santo? No, he's not here. Just didn't get off the start.
Get out of my testicles.
I'm warming up my brakes. Leave me alone.
There he is.
I'm literally in
There's the
fucking
lead
second.
car. Yeah.
What speed do we keep you to, Cianto?
Hit them, man.
60.
Okay. I need to be
What's
further
that,
up than
miles an
that.
hour?
Green light. Give it
Oh,
a
okay,
okay.
we're going.
That was a terrible start, so I did not understand that.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Hey Josh, nice ass, bro.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Ah, fuck. I bungled.
Me too. Oh! No!
Oh my god! Fucking hell.
Can we have a restart?
Please.
How many of you died because of Lambert?
Clear on the left.
Alright, let's watch the shithousery. Let's go.
Was it my fault or was it just Lambert spawning on his own?
Yeah,
Lambert saw on his own and I
Yeah.
couldn't avoid
Alright.
Alright, have I still got my stream screen?
Yeah, you do have your stream up, Lambert.
Alright.
Just watch.
I knew he was close to me, but I didn't realise that. I got ahead of Izzy on the start.
Yeah, because I was fucking up all on my own as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, look how bad my start is, guys.
When the green light came on, I flicked into third and I was like, shit, that's not working. So immediately, Chris is all over my...
I need to be annoyed.
Go wide, lose the rear, reverse back onto the racing line. Kill both of them.
How many people need to start from the pit lane?
Very decent.
So we're not gonna do it for this one simply because there's no points on the line.
Fair enough.
Alright, is everyone good?
Yeah, I knew I got a bad first one because the tight line.
Lambert
Oh,
just
yeah,
loses it on the
yeah,
grass
he
and
just
then,
lost it on the... Yeah.
Just collects them.
Collects the rest of the field.
Oh, we...
My advice, Lambert, is stay on the track this time.
No, I'll take that
I know, I was
advice.
trying to gain time as quick as possible, but fuck me.
That was funny though. Just watching him go wide, like, there he's got no chance. Just the back goes. Like, oh boy, I need to get past this quickly.
I saw
Beep.
Lambert was on my left, so I tried to give him a
Beep,
bit
beep.
of room on the apex. I didn't realise he was that far off the
His
track.
name isn't actually Fairy Knight. I was aware of that.
Alright.
Right, can we agree on the speed we're going now, please?
60
Yeah, sure.
kilometers an hour, which is what in miles an hour?
70k.
Can we even just do pit limiter or the 70 kilometers? 60 is just weird.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm good with pit limiter.
Here, I
If you want to
My
warm up the
setup
tyres, you
just
don't want to
fucked
do
up
pit
when
limiter.
I couldn't get it to pit limiter before.
You have to be in first gear. No.
Now my controls fucked up.
Alright.
70 it is, I guess.
20 seconds.
Paul Pogba wants to stay at Man United, but only if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the manager.
Wow.
Yep.
Really don't I?
10
Oh
seconds.
shit, I need to fill my vape liquid.
Thanks, drive.
Too late.
I mean, not in this car, mate.
Stay in double file.
I thought Lambert was number 69. I was really confused. We do a pit limiter then or what?
Yeah,
Yeah, so, yeah. And now somehow I'm overtaking Izzy on the pit limiter.
Yeah,
What?
Izzy, you're supposed to be beside it.
I know, I'm trying to fix it without fucking up other things.
Green light, show them where you go.
Chris, nobody sticks a nose up the inside of the car. Hang on,
I had to massively back out there. Well, I was in
Yeah, so
sandwich.
did I. Jeez.
Oh, Santo murdered Izzy. Something wrong.
That's
Oh,
gonna
wow.
replay, isn't it?
Why isn't
Okay.
this car fights my downshift sometimes.
Actually, firstly,
It does.
James, see how much faster.
Can I-
Oh
can
my
I stop
God,
doing
James
that?
is so fast in the straight. Fuck that. No, no.
He tried to take me out and he missed.
Oh my
He was
God.
too
This is
fast.
you feel the casual.
Slow car
He
ahead.
just completely missed me.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out.
I'm in the lead. Yeah.
Right.
We need to see the shit that just went on after the race.
Witnessing the murder.
I just clatted James team.
I had a really good start as well. Like, really, really good. Santos was garbage.
Oh my god. Santa
I've
just
got-
left the track.
Got an easy over me.
Oh my god, what was that?
I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting Cianto here. I just don't have the straight line speed. But then, just watch. Hang on, we're gonna go from Cianto's perspective. Actually, yeah, that one there.
Oh, the
Go
exit.
down half speed.
Gosh, oh god. Where he tried to take me out and missed me, or was it?
Oh, God, she's gonna drive clean past me on this straight.
Maybe.
Like, what was the rationale? What was the thing? What was the thought process?
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh no, still good. Still going. The fight's still alive.
I'm not looking at that screen, I'm looking at Lambert's replay.
Park it, my car on the
Yeah, you just stole the apex from me, Josh.
Right. He tried to take me out and missed because I had so much extra speed in
Yeah, look.
Jesus fucking Christ, Josh!
Clear on the left.
I'm watching Anna in Izzy race right now, it's great. Genuinely.
Kept it clean.
It was clear, although Izzy, I would say that was such a deep entry into that first corner. Oh, and Izzy's in the... Alright, let's restart.
Which corner were you on about? I have no idea.
It's the first corner on the GT track that we're doing, and yeah, Izzy put a nose down the inside and then just like completely overshot like on speed. And if Josh was anywhere on the outside, he would have been absolutely murdered.
No, but I was trying to keep an eye on where he was. That was the whole thing.
Oh god.
It's hard.
I'm putting enough fuel in. I am. Cool.
This is amazing.
I'd quite like not to be rear-ended this time round.
It was chaos, but fun. The exit speed I had compared to Lambert and then just shot past him. There was nothing he could do.
Yeah, Cup Car will be the fastest car on the straight line on this track.
Yeah.
Easy. All of the power, none of the drawbacks on the straight.
He tried to take me out, but I was too fast. I was right ahead of the front of his car before he pulled across me.
20 seconds.
Casual wait. No fucking about.
So it's 50 kilometers, right? Okay.
Yeah, 50 kilometers.
Second.
Pit limit,
Yeah,
yeah, 31 miles an hour.
I've got it in kilometers, so. Whoa! My wheel's all the way round.
Oh, right.
Oh, section restarted, okay.
We had one guy yeet to the pit lane. We had Izzy do a fucking donut.
No, it was because my wheel was the wrong way around. It wasn't straight. And I was getting it fine. I would have been okay. But
Yeah.
So I was.
person in the pit.
I was on Twitter.
Lambert!
The second we started moving, I saw on my left, I basically saw the what's it, McLaren just disappear. It was just do a fucking donut. I was like, that's
I
what
do
it
like
was.
that.
No, I did a hard left turn.
Yeah.
How have we gone from being so consistent with our starts to now having 3 restarts?
Because people are in different positions.
And by half, I mean like
All
fucking
but two.
two,
Cars,
5
yeah,
steps
cars.
of us.
It's way over half, yeah. There are two people that are comfortable in their car and they leave the track at regular intervals.
Yes.
0 3/4.
We're comfortable in our car, but we're still a bit shit.
Resting driver that I'm going on Twitter.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
20
I'm so
seconds.
tired tonight. I had 14 hours sleep and I'm still exhausted.
Can I have some of
Got a
them?
problem, mate.
Maybe 15.
10 seconds.
Go
I
for
did
the- go
try
for the-
falling back asleep afterwards this afternoon.
Go for the big
Didn't
18
work.
hours, I reckon.
Mate, I'm not
Go
being
for high
funny.
speed.
I did have 3 years that I slept 20 hours a night every night.
Going double file.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Days, mate, just drive the GT4. Just take a fucking nap on the straights.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Not by fucking choice you take a said nap. Just.
I'm gonna have no tire attempts by turn 1 because I forgot to run the brakes this time.
Green light, go, go, go.
I did not want to be here, but okay.
Yeah, I did.
Good job, Izzy.
I started sliding. I was just trying to fix it.
Oh, I'm going deep. Yeah. Failed it going. I failed it going. But that's fine. Just keep going.
Oh god.
No, fuck me.
Oh, thanks.
Saw that in my rear view.
It's a fair rejoin. I reckon.
Just remember this race is going on to I have a good
Well.
brake pedal right now.
Desload.
You punted me off last race.
But my
You
friend
didn't see me.
Teroy is here. He may be, you never know. I haven't seen him yet, he hasn't said anything, but he could still be here lurking,
know.
you never know.
Yeah. Be lurking. We love our lurkers.
Mm-hmm.
They are what keep us going.
And hello! Hi Merp! How's things? I am currently trying not to fuck up too much in a car.
I mean, I'm
Warning
chasing
for
Lambo.
that? Okay, eat my dick.
Massively extended that extra load, to be fair.
It's a bit deep, isn't it?
Oh, he's gone a bit deep there.
How deep is a bit deep?
Deep enough that
How
I
deep do
walked
you
up.
want?
Get the
Oh,
outside
wow.
space, he's through.
I
Your
was
car
sideways
is
in
fat
turn
as
2
fuck. The
and I
slipstream
caught
Life is good, that is good to hear.
I know.
What have you been up to?
enormous.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the brakes on.
We
there.
encourage me to go fast.
Guys,
There's no
do what you need to do.
What was that move?
I tried to get the car back, but lost the rear end.
Jane.
Yeah.
That's the one I want.
Yeah, it's me. I spun at turn 1. Turn 2.
That's silly.
Rather stupid.
Oh, I'm hitting this.
Oh,
yeah.
look at the wall! Oh no!
I realised as soon as I turned
I
in.
left him a
I've already got my second warning.
Oh, Lambert!
Weird wood cut that I got there.
That was purely on me.
Same.
I turned in too early and I clobbered the wall on the inside.
Oh no.
Pretty sure they're exactly the same because the server's still judging it by how many wheels left the track.
Massive doubts.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
It feels much more strict.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really over the curve.
Lambert's got 2 already.
Yep.
I mean, Lambert has left the track quite substantially.
How much damage have I got? 5 seconds worth, okay. Not too bad. But yeah, I really clobbered that
Mostly work.
corner. I
Fair
turned
enough.
in and I hit the wall at turn 1.
Just trying to have a special.
And I'm-
Shit.
I wasn't
That
even
sounds
trying
like
to be up the inside of Josh. I just had so much over speed of him. Try and catch up again.
bought a plot years back, and now I'm building a house for my parents. Oh, nice. That's super cool.
Give me that slipstream!
Wiggle.
Sounds hard though.
Izzy and Tianto are somewhere up the road.
We exist.
Okay.
As far as I'm
I was
aware.
going to say.
Hey, Strats!
They are battling themselves, and two, they.
Oh,
tend to
God,
start
You're welcome
really
to
well.
come join the chat
Oh,
if
sorry,
you want to
everyone.
experience the crazy.
Surprised that you can extend that. Although
Oh, I'm
normally
gonna
I
get
don't
my
know.
third.
The track looks are a joke.
No!
They really
I
are.
slid.
Oh, are you guys going too fast to stay on the track? Is that the problem?
Oh, that wasn't
Good
the
PSI.
race fastest lap. I'd never have guessed, mate.
Wasn't me.
Personal fastest lap on a lap that I clobbered the wall. Wait, what?
Judges like fastest GT4. It's probably just going to be like overall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's overall.
I believe in Izzy. I don't. Sianto is faster than me in
Might have a
quali,
special thing
and he
for,
just needs to try and
I just
overtake
got
me
my
cleanly.
fucking third warning for this.
Lambert! Fucking hell! What are you doing, man?
I'm trying to get out of the way.
You drove forward towards the fucking apex!
You did literally just drive into him.
I am so sorry.
Well,
Hey,
That's
my
good.
wheel is now fucked in the opposite
the damage.
direction. Oh, 3.
I believe in anybody with the
24.
Millpool logo.
Oh,
Do it for Flanco. I'm
I've
trying.
got 33.
Catch up, yeah.
I need my sound will though, but I'm so scared I'll probably sound do something.
No. What's the people streaming? No.
I don't think Roy Hodgson will sense.
These cars are terrible and unfun.
it's by BBC on Match of the Day, isn't it? So
The recorded audio from a copyrighted material, yeah.
Pretty much everything is copyright these days.
yeah.
It's like copyright and broadcast rights.
Copyrighted, even though I spliced it together, or Lambert spliced it together as different stuff.
Yeah.
It's copyrighted under FOM. As Beam Radio.
Fuck no.
Well done, mate.
These cars are not fun to drive. They are absolutely garbage, and I am very not
Oh my
in
God,
favour.
Just not GT3. Give me GT3 or give me Jet Death, isn't it, basically?
I mean, we do this for fun. That's the.
I think they're perfectly fine to drive. I like they're slower, but they just feel like mini GT3s.
Yeah.
Just like not as fast.
I think that's what
like,
they
I
are.
understand the obviously annoying that we're like way off the pace, but I think they're okay to drive. It's slower.
Oh wow, that's fast. Well, I'll never know Lambert's pace, I guess.
See you New Year, mate.
Yeah, I'll see you the season after next season. Bye.
Bye.
Next time we do one.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Simply an
You
apocalyptic
accepted
race.
a lot faster than you did there.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
That's fine, Strats. I understood you wouldn't be
It's the
joining.
world's loneliest race now.
As soon as James passes,
Also, it's an hour race, so I don't think there's any opportunity to,
I got
unfortunately.
into Magus and Beckett's to make sure I didn't hit you, and then still the XTR still managed to somehow go into the back of you. Sorry.
I think I might box.
Box.
Box,
Because
box!
I'm damaged and I'm on my own.
Oh, joining the chat. Right, I'm with you. That makes more sense. Sorry, I'm concentrating.
that's the track limit, innit?
You do you, dude.
Well, hello, eh? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I expected it in the corner, but Jesus. That's more than I expected. I could have pretty much gone round your outside there. If I
Huh?
wanted to.
Well, this one is for this season that we're
And
looking
I'll
at,
get
yes.
here, probably.
Well done, mate. That's all the best.
And I get back across in time. Not really. Let's go down the middle.
Oh my god, oh my god.
To get closer.
Sorry, James.
Yeah. It is hard. It's why last race I had such trouble overtaking you.
Yeah, it's really hard, very close to someone.
And
Hey, bro. Boxing.
not right now, but I will be at some point. You got damage?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't collect you, Josh, but I hit the wall and just flew across the track. Oh dear. Spinola, hi.
There it is.
Oh, let's go get James.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Oh yeah, I just did a double spin. Right. Come on, get off the grass.
donuts.
Come on. There we go. Right, now I can go again. You just cannot accelerate in the grass in this car.
Yeah.
I
that's so
mean,
good.
it's not generated
that's
by
supposed-
for any car, is it?
Accurate.
True.
Yeah, but from
supposed to
even
be
from
on the grass.
stationary, it's so difficult to. Oh well.
I love the role reversal right now as well because we got Izzy and Cianto fighting for this
For
first
the
place.
lead, yeah.
No, how Hamilton and Silverfield just like chilling, vibing and watching me and Lambert fucking race each other on the road.
I mean, I'm just over.
Really?
Yeah, this season is basically the opposite of what we've had the entire time of just watching them drive away and having no
Yeah.
chance at any wins.
That's basically what I was thinking. Is it's basically we look at the GT4 timetables as being like that's our comparative differences, and it'll be like the same as being in the same GT3
Yeah.
thing we've always done, except now the difference is AM and Silver get to fight for podiums, which is way
It's
more
gone
exciting.
wide.
Yep,
He's opened the door.
but can't win, so I don't care. I'm leaving.
Absolute sass from James there.
It was a bit of sass, yeah, it was pretty savage.
It's
When do I not be like this though? When it's someone that I know enough that they're not going to be completely off the rails about it. Yeah.
I spam up
We
the
didn't break him there,
curves.
mate. Flat out.
No! I did wonder because you weren't in my mirrors anymore. I know you dropped back because I think you had a couple of wobbles on a couple of corners, didn't you?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
hit
God.
some curves wrong. And,
Ah, these curbs are dastardly.
I may have hit the wall at pit entry.
Really, Josh? What is it with you and the curse of the pits?
I was gonna
No,
say a
I
classic
think
Josh
I'm fine
penalty.
for speed this time because I got my speed limit on, but it's all good.
No, it's just everything happens to you when you try and do something
I'll
with
tell
the
you what
pits.
though, when you do pit limiter on GT4, it's terrifying because the engine revs higher to get to the pit limit speed. So you think you've left it off when you just like when you do it, but you haven't.
So you can do second gear in the pit limiter.
Yeah. And do a pit stop.
And do a flip!
And it's gonna be really boring for me if you don't do a pit.
Do a flip!
Depends where you exit.
Do a pit stop for your old buddy.
For your old buddy, old pal!
It is about to lap me. 15 seconds left.
I mean, I'm not far off the pit lane. I got.
Yeah, we're in the final sector.
Rox, did you change the tyre pressure?
Yeah, I've adjusted them, so that they should be fun. We should be like pretty good.
I liked how you said you adjusted them, so they should be, I mean, really good.
Pretty good. They'll be alright, I guess.
Yeah, to be fair, you probably saw like 20 points or something.
Mine started 21s-ish. 21s.
I'm out. I'm ahead of Chris.
Oh, I got facing down now. Let's go.
Let's go ride the
Oh, my time's
bike.
so cold.
So the gap's 14 seconds. He's got time.
Cianto's reeling the gap in.
I can finally set fastest lap now.
Yeah, I know, because you're not being held up by me.
Yeah, that's how I felt. So I was like, oh, Yeah, suddenly I've been released. I
I
can
think
put
this
base
could be
in the car
competitive
now.
if they amp do a pit stop.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the relative distance after like accounting for mistakes and all that stuff.
Yeah, this is the point of doing the hour race today, is to work out the gaps to see where to make it competitive.
Yeah.
I think even if I don't have a pit stop, I'm going to need a pit
So
stop.
Stretz, apart
Just
from being
because time
tired,
there.
how you doing? Also, if Lambert actually means that he doesn't want to do the AM races, does that mean we can possibly look at Mondays?
Oh my god, yeah. Just fuck it, move it to Monday, it's done. That actually be so helpful.
I can probably do Monday. I play video games with a friend on Monday, but I can probably move it.
I had a mini spin, Cianto.
Is it a jack spin or a proper mini spin?
It was like a slide, so it was a bit worse than a jack spin, but not a full spin.
I lost traction there. I managed to catch it by shifting up.
Huh.
Oh, you put lower torque into the rear
Yeah,
tires,
yeah.
which kills the wheel spin.
So yeah, Josh, if you can figure out possibly doing Mondays in about 2 weeks' time, 1 week's time, something like that.
Just double check with Lambert that he actually means it first.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I
give him
mean,
time to
this is
calm
exactly
down.
what I did with the cup cars, though.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
he
sure
did
he's out.
3 corners in cup cars and then quit the cup cars as well.
I know, I'm
Yeah,
just saying double check because I don't want to be all
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's move it, and then he's like, bitch, please, I actually was coming back.
Because the other thing is we just immediately let DJ know that, oh, by the way, if we're on Mondays, want to drive?
Yeah.
We get a DJ join us and that'd be... And we won't have lost anybody and we keep the roster up.
Yep. We just do a swap between a DJ and a Lambert every season.
Actually, we actually managed to bully him into it. Oh, I've gone really wide. Oh, I've gone really wide.
Oh, he's having a bad outlap.
I mean, that's expected with how stone cold the tyres are going to be on the outlap.
This isn't
Yeah.
my outlet. It's my second.
I know. Yeah, but it's going to take 2
They're
3
actually okay now, Precious.
Yeah, out 2 lap.
What are you lapping, Chris?
212.
Oh, you're much faster than me.
I can just about do 211, but that's kind of like my peak at the moment until I figure it out.
Yeah, you're about a second quicker than me, I think.
Turn 2 10s.
My best is a 211.6, which I did at some point. I don't remember.
My best is a 10-1, but I'm not consistent on it at all.
Santo's gonna be seeable in my mirrors again soon.
Oh, it's Ant's well ahead of me.
He had less damage than you had.
I guess this is my crash with
Yeah.
I didn't have any damage.
Yeah. Yeah, he had next to no damage. Oh, goodbye.
Bye!
Always at a loop.
Yeah, it's just so slow speed corners in the cup car. It's really hard to manage the throttle.
Hey. There we go. My car got stuck doing only 19 miles an hour and refused to do more. I fixed it
You're
now.
What was it?
I don't know. It just got stuck at 19 miles an hour, even at full acceleration. And
If you
only
can press
fixed it
the
was
reset
enough.
5 button, please.
Literally did have to reset the car by changing the gear.
Mode 5
Oh, God,
reset.
that's grass.
And then twiddle the flibbity button.
I'm so
Oh,
slow. I'm doing like
76.
2:13.5.
Failed
It's so
76.
Yeah.
Chris is much quicker than me.
Meow. Cargo broom.
No, dude, my average is about 212 at the moment.
I went to less track than me. No, actually wasn't in front of me. You never know.
Although I feel like my speed's dropping off because my tyres are getting too hot. Left side's like 27.5, which is too high for us. So it's
Wait,
gonna start.
27.5 is too hot.
Yeah, 27.1 is GT4 car.
Oh, okay. My front left is 27.9.
You're gonna get graining, you're gonna get slower over time with that. Well, it depends on the heat actually, more than anything else.
I was aiming for 27.5. I was doing them. And now they're all too hot. Because I'm going quicker, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already starting to really feel tired wearing this car. It's only 20 minutes in.
That's fine. That's also good data for us if you practice me and dropping blocks.
Yeah. I'd just be curious to see. I'm mainly curious about what is like the average speed, best times, overall finishing distances we end up with. Also, if G4 and G3 cars can do an hour at Silverstone without a tyre change.
Yellow flag is
We
set.
did it in
We
the
know the GT3
current-
cars. And, yeah. Oh, me. Hello.
What a stupid question. It really wasn't. I know Josh is struggling. Chris
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
2:12.9 that lap.
You could honestly beat anybody in these cars at the moment.
Although I do find these cars like don't give a crap about brake bias, and I've just basically got it down to 50%-ish. Maximum brake power.
Maximum power.
I think
Our
I've massively
overwhelming.
flat spotted a tyre because my car is vibrating every time I accelerate.
Ah.
James is gonna have to box.
Probably.
We're not
Right,
doing it this
some-
lap.
So this
I'm
was
not.
interesting. Still ahead of James. I wasn't expecting this.
Well, I've had a dreadful race, so that's not surprising. I have been backwards more times than I've been forwards.
Yes.
The Cup car experience.
James really sucks our Oscar left winter series.
So yeah, what I want to do is we have like proper meme races next week, and what I want to do is do the things and change. And something I want to do for James is keep him in a GT3 car and just like keep like doing random things to it. Like, all right, on this sprint race you're doing a drive-through. On this sprint race you're doing this thing, and then just. I mean, it's obviously short-term race balancing, and it'll be a bit silly, but it'll be fun. Also, I'm really curious about what would happen if we put him in something like the really old Jaguar or the really old Aston, because they have very weak aero.
Yeah, and I've no
So-
setups in them either. Whereas
There's
the
that.
McLaren I've dialed in setup over the past 5 seasons.
Yeah. But the older cars, as far as I understand it, they have significantly less aero, so their engines get turned up basically as part of the balance. Or at least the restrictor
Yeah.
comes off them, the default one.
Yeah.
So it could work. I'll be curious to see what happens. It may just be putting James in a car he's unfamiliar with is enough to slow it down.
Probably is.
Right, 2:12.6.
Up a bit. Doing terrible in this corner, so I'm trying to adjust things. Right, it needs to go up a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna try
And
get to
what
the
lap times
half
do you do?
hour on this flat spotted tyre, but
No, we're all doing it at the same time.
I'm struggling with traction and all sorts now.
Let's go.
Where's box making it?
I'm chasing down Josh.
It's a lap me.
I know, I'm not closing in by that much to be fair.
Oh, there goes the rear again. Yeah, I can't.
No!
No.
Is that car? No.
It's Magnus and Beckett I'm really struggling with now.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that because the balance is all upset?
I don't know if it's the balance or if it's just rear traction with accelerating too hard for Magnus and Beckett's. try and do 3 more laps to get to the half-hour point, so I can have a good idea of how tight wear is.
That's a good track
Does this have the usual practice session at the end to look at stuff afterwards?
Yes, I added an hour-long practice at the end.
Good, thank you. I can look at the tyre wear after the session then. So I set 12 if somebody can remind me, if I forget.
12. Write that down.
Somebody that's in my stream can just write number 12.
Yeah, I knew you were coming. You've been slowly clawing it back. I deny everything, says Troy.
Yeah, Josh is struggling with it. I had a really shit first lap.
Did a 2:12.9 last lap. Currently 2:12.7.
So, for the sake of balance, interestingly, we've got to the 35-minute mark, crossed the start-finish lane, and had Izzy and Cianto in the middle of Sector 2. Suggests they should catch me by the end of the race, at the very least. But that also means that a potential balance is literally just to be like, hey, AM, going for a pit stop. And then everyone finishes relatively the same lap.
Yeah.
Which would be quite funny to like completely flip the table and be like, alright, AM have a mandatory pit stop.
Yeah.
Which I think will help them a bit, because they've been suffering with tyre wear towards the end of the races.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, it does completely flip it. So they
Because
get the
I had the
advantage
same in
over
silver.
And they get to learn how to do pit stops.
yeah.
True, if people haven't been so far. That's a really good point, actually. Because obviously, I've done them because obviously we didn't have this be a thing until a while ago. But obviously, if we get new AMs join, they may not have done any.
Threats are not important.
Yeah, I quite like
they
it.
have.
If we can do these Twitter, like we alternate like where the
Yeah.
AMs are the ones doing the pit stops, and then we alternate where they're the ones not
Yeah.
doing them. That'd be quite good.
I think that's the
Wait
idea,
till
is to
the-
alternate the
oh, this
seasons.
strat session that we've been talking.
Yeah. I have extremely bad vibrations on my front right now, so I am going to box this lap.
Well, that's a 2:14 lap now. Good.
Because you were talking.
Chris is talking. Chris is talking me. He's catching me.
2:14.4, coming up to the line. I'm on second down on my best. We're on 2:12. Yeah, my best is a 2:11.6 now. I have no idea how I did it, but I can't get anywhere near it anymore. And I think it's greening because of tyre heat. Front left is just like probably green to fuck.
Every time I try to turn left, it's just like a fucking Bronco trying to hold onto the steering wheel.
What the hell have you done to your car?
No, but my god, this is horrible. Right, I'm fixing it this lap because I cannot drive with that anymore.
Oh, I cooked it. I overcooked it.
Where will that
Fuck.
bring James back to? Within range?
Probably right on you guys, yeah. Because I've been doing terrible laps while you guys have been closing in.
Plus you're damaged.
Yeah. I mean, it's 5 seconds of repairs. It's not. It's gone up to 9 seconds, so yes, I was causing more damage by driving.
Interesting. I didn't know if they modelled that.
Yeah.
I think you're probably ahead of me.
Yes, I am changing twice. I need to change this to a different set number though,
Does that
because
make you
that
happy?
set number is not brand new. Stop the engine. Come on.
I think I'm losing a lot
Come
of
on,
time
lift
to
the
keep
car.
the light in the slow corners. I'm not
Number
quite
38 seconds.
like super
Not enough
confident on
time
the
to
brake.
remember the drink.
Probably because brake bias is lower.
No, my bias is 52.
Okay, never mind. Very close then.
Troy, how you been? Good to see you.
I keep trying to like figure out what the steering angle should be for the slow corners because I feel like overdriving it a bit helps massively, but I'm betting that's the reason for my overheating tyres.
That does sound like a reason.
You can turn the wheel a bit more to like generate that little bit more heat before you go in.
It's about a lap. I'm doing 2:12s, probably 8 by the time we get there. Yeah, 2:12.8 should be. Just better.
Doing fine, doing a bit of RuneScape while I was lurking. Makes sense. How are you enjoying RuneScape still?
Who's that in the pits?
Me.
Oh, James.
He said he was going to fix it
Maybe
because he was
that
doing
might
more
be.
damage to his car.
We're gonna
I
have
mean,
an on.
it
I got
didn't help
one of the
that
track
I,
limits.
um,
Fuck, there were ninja ones.
I was
I got my third warning.
in
Oh.
neutral gear and I didn't actually accelerate when they dropped me. So I lost like 5 seconds until I realised, oh, I'm in neutral.
Well,
I need
Can
to
have
go
a
away.
track battle.
Oof. It helps that I
Yeah,
play
it's
in a
really
group.
hard for
Yeah, it
James
always
to
does.
do overtakes, isn't it?
Especially for me as well.
So sensitive.
I always play games
on the throw early,
a lot
on
better
the-
if I've
real
got people
confidence.
with me
Yeah.
to enjoy it with and
Problem
you know
I
talk
had
about it.
with Ant when I was trying to overtake him was I accelerated a lot better than he did, and I kept almost rear-ending him, and I did at one point rear-end him.
Yeah, I mean, very, very mild. You know, if that's been a race, I would call it.
The thing for the season is that James has got to play that we don't have any wet races.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
car in the wet is like undrivable.
Yeah, I would really. I would probably even consider being like, hey, just get in the GT3 for wet races because
Yeah,
it's not worth
grind is annoying. I mean, I guess there's a certain amount of
Give him-
grind
give
I'm
him-
okay
give him
with,
an
but
engine-limited GT3
yeah.
in the wet.
Now, chuck me
Yeah,
in
maybe.
GT4 in the
Still
wet.
a long way to go.
it. Problem is, engine limiting a GT3 in the wet just makes it easier to drive in the wet.
And also, I'd rather be at the back in the wet in the GT4 than at the front in the GT3. To give the AMs their chance that they want for battling for wins and not just driving away from them.
I don't know, the goal is also for you, James. I want you to get your chance for fighting for victory.
I've had a season of that already, though.
This is true.
I'm just saying, missed the race. There's two races.
Yeah. Which is why I've said I'd rather be at the very back in the GT4s than in the GT3. Even a restricted GT3, I think I would drive away.
Yeah.
Because on the other
Currently.
ramps, yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year. If there is good. But everyone.
I want to do another endurance race this winter.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That wasn't a cut. Oh, it was there.
Can't allow me endurance
Like,
race.
I don't know what the team's going to fucking be. We'll probably have to go into 3 teams.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
yeah, 3 teams.
I'll just do what I did
Well, it
last
depends
time.
how many people can actually do it.
So
I still
here
did
is
last
where
time,
I
that's the
accidentally
organised, so-
rear-ended Ant because we both went the same way. We both went right on
Oh
exit.
my god, James, this is ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous on this track.
Yeah.
Talk to the organizer again and be like, hey, it's us again. We got a bit faster, but probably still gonna crash. So, although there's more of us now, so hey. But no, they're all for us. They like literally were like, if like we wanted to run like a rookie season, and then they could link us and stuff. But
Yeah. That'd be fun though.
It's not even a bad idea.
I was kind of holding off on it mainly because I was like, we need moderation and all sorts of stuff to make it run the way they do. And also a lot of the people on that site were just like significantly faster than us. So I was like, this is no one here is on our level.
Yeah. It's like, yes, we could be
Even
your
their
baby feeder
rookie
series, but
guys.
please find us some people. Because currently you're all
Even
at the
their
top.
Rookie league was 4 seconds a lap faster than our fastest guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
pretty
would be more
intense.
tempted if I were to work with CSS. I would just be like, hey, I'm a event runner, organizer person with a server. Can I just run something on your Discord and just like with like meme like limitations on the faster drivers and stuff?
I mean, why not?
And I reckon they'll probably be like, yeah, but it's like that's a lot of effort, and I know there's a lot
Yeah.
of consideration for that. But yeah, for endurance racing, there's rFactor 2 allows us to fill a grid with AI. Otherwise, it's go to A6CSS and be like, hey.
When's your next one? What you're running? Yeah.
So they'll probably run a winter holiday one.
Yeah.
Probably do it 12 hours.
They did.
They did a 24 recently.
Yeah.
They?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have done
Oh, I guess I'm back in
Yeah, we should do a 24-hour one. I can't wait to be subject to like fuck my sleeping patterns.
I mean, it's you don't have to be there. It's teams. You don't have to be there the whole 24 hours.
I know, but I'd probably end up doing
I'd be afternoon, evening.
I would have to, if it was on a weekend, I'd have to do it during normal waking hours because work.
It'd be on a weekend.
No, I know, but I can't screw up my sleeping pattern.
But
Nope.
I'm sure you are basically able to. You just don't want to.
No, because I work, therefore it literally would screw up my sleeping pattern, and that's not feasible because I wouldn't be able to function.
And just take a couple of days off after.
No, because this is the thing. It takes like a week, like a full-on
I know.
week to get my sleeping pattern back where it should be, which is really annoying.
Yeah, we're quite lucky in that regard. I can just have 5 hours sleep one night and then just get up all the time.
Wow. Like, I obviously had a holiday recently, and we've been still going to bed at 1, and like, because I'm still awake at 1. And it's like, oh my god, what have I gone fucked? Because I've got to wake up and go to work, and it ain't working, and I've got like a tiredness headache today due to it, and yeah, it's not good.
Granted for me, it's like, oh, I get up and go to work. Oh, right.
I'm at work, woohoo! Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's like, oh, I gotta get up early today. I gotta get up at 8. And obviously, for me, it's like, get up at 7.
Thankfully, I don't have to get up at 7. Thankfully.
My doctors, I have to phone at 8 in the morning at the moment, and I physically can't.
Yeah.
I am at the moment, like,
literally
deliberately
today.
starting late, because I'm going to bounce back with the clocks on
My
Sunday.
mum
Oh,
phoned
yeah.
up for me at 8:15, and they were already out of all appointments for the day.
Yeah, I've been
The
starting work at
surgery
9:30,
opening at 8.
rather than 8:30. And on Monday, I will start at 8:30 again, because it'll be the same time.
We get 1 hour extra sleep. It's great.
No, one less.
No, it's one more.
It's one more.
Yep.
One less in March,
Spring
one more in
forward.
October.
Full back.
Yep. Or as everyone always asks, yes, this is the nice good one that everyone likes.
Yeah, you get the nice sleep one, but then like you get like dark at 4 PM. So
Yeah, honestly, I would prefer not to have it happen because I get seasonal affective disorder quite badly.
yeah.
And I literally also cannot get up if it's dark. Like, it's really difficult for me.
The problem, well, yeah, that's why the clock's going back quite good, isn't it? Because the clock going back makes it lighter in the morning.
True. It just isn't enough, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, we've only got 8 hours of daylight.
Yeah.
Shuffle them how you want in December.
Maybe I just need to move closer to the equator.
Oh yeah, I have a dream in the future that I'll be like a millionaire and just like buy a house in Malta and just live there in January.
Yeah,
March.
I'd do that. I'll come join you.
We'll make a streamer house.
Oh yeah, Malta Stream House. Great.
I'd have to actually earn enough that it covers my benefits.
So I'm going really slowly now. I'm distracted. I'm dreaming of the Malta Stream House. So
You're envisaging and imagining the Stream House now, aren't you?
yeah.
Oh, I fucked it! No! Ciento took me! I was so consistent.
Alright.
Oh, you moving out of my grand's place? Southampton, right? Oh.
Who's just ahead of me?
Me, I just spun. I turn one.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was like I could fight them, but Nurse James. So, be see you later, James.
Bye!
Well, like with my job, it's not a huge issue. Like before I do move, I want to secure a bathroom. That's actually when you're on a 0-hour contract.
Yeah, it's really hard to get you.
Yeah.
You have to like do like apprenticeship or something to get a bar manager.
Oh, bar manager.
Yeah, but that's the route, isn't it?
Oh no!
Bar manager.
Guys, I retook the lead because half a lap later after my spin, Ciento spins!
Josh, there is the alternative line of techie tricks. Me and Barton.
Techie tricks.
Yeah, like flip flops and shit.
circuit corner.
Isn't that a mixologist that does all the tricks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could just be.
I know this because of The Sims.
Oh right, okay.
Which, to be fair, isn't even a horrific idea. Like, all things considered.
I think I should just do that on this side. Let's go spin.
I think you should go straight off the track and into the barrier gym.
I'll do that all the time, don't worry. I'll do that on my own.
Just give me a sec, next score.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cook one up for you. Just bear with.
Not closing much, Josh. It's 8-second gap. Stay the same.
My
Yeah,
brother-
I'm slower than you, but not by a lot. I think it's
Yeah.
We've got.
I'm a bit slower than you.
This lap's going to be a 2:12.7.
18.5.
Oof.
Those tyres are recovering thanks to the weight burning off.
So there's a grading group.
Peanut butter. Hey, Rocket. How's it going and why peanut butter? It confuses me.
Man. God. Tyres.
God, the sliding through maggots and Beckett's.
I'm really curious what the wear is on the tyres because I feel like I'm massively understeering some corners, but I don't know if it's just psychological and I'm just basically driving
Yeah.
badly.
It's going good.
That's why I
This
wanted
car
to-
is
That
quite
was the purpose. What, just to get me to be confused? Objective achieved, dude. Well done.
Yeah, we have basically no diffuser. I don't think we have any sort of front splitter, so it's all just that rear wing and whatever the tyres can give you.
Why do I
I'm glad to hear that things are going good for you.
Oh yeah, mine's been doing that.
green.
Yeah. I literally just did it on that corner.
Oh come on!
Oh no!
He still has to go to the pits.
That's such a joke. I literally lifted. I lifted the throttle because I knew I was wide, and it still gave me a penalty.
Hang on, I can probably clear it. This car takes a while to get down the straight.
That's why whenever I go over, I brake. Because I do not
Okay.
want to get my warnings.
Before I did that on a fast corner, but it was like just chilling, holding.
There were penalties?
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh just got one for track limits.
No.
Nah, pressure loss, it just slowly goes down PSI. You just have to keep an eye on it.
Whoops. This is a really poor lap. I'm like 2:30.
You can often do like 8
Fine.
laps on it and fine.
Josh, what's it done to your track cut limit?
Got rid of it.
Oh, it's just, I guess it all paid off for a penalty, I guess.
I can now do some yeets.
How many do you have?
I still have my one. It hasn't cleared everyone.
Oh, so you...
It just cleared anything that converted into a proper penalty.
Yeah, I think it
That makes
deletes
sense.
them when it penalizes them.
That should be the way it is.
Yeah.
That's the way I was hoping it would be.
Yeah. Just can't wait to get in the box again.
And
Really
in
slow
the
now.
box, I'm trying to
Tyres
catch
have
it.
gone or something. I think my
Yeah, mine-
tyres have gone through the first sector magnet buckets.
Yeah, that's the issue I had at the end of the last stint. That's why I ended up hitting.
I
Can
feel
you spin
progressively
again? So
slower.
we're closer.
Hmm?
Can you spin again?
I don't know, maybe. It depends.
Speaking of, I noticed the leader's changed hands a few times and you guys are just dead quiet about it.
No, I was shouting about it.
Yeah, they have screwed both times that they've spun. It changed hands by spinning.
Oh, okay. No,
Both times.
I just didn't hear it.
I didn't realise the spin resulted in a position change.
Well, that was why I said, oh no, I've spun and Cianto got me. And then literally half a lap later, oh no, Cianto spun and I overtook him.
He's coming up to lap Chris, and then she'll be lapping me for the second time.
And me first time.
If I can get my head in the
Nice.
game, I can keep
I
that
don't
gap.
think have I been lapped? Yeah. I've been lapped.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, I got lapped when I hit. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, bollocks! Ant is 19 seconds ahead of me.
That's about 20 seconds. He's hard to
We're too consistent in pace, all of us.
Yeah, Josh has been like 8 seconds. Oh, 7.9. Oh my god, a 10th.
We need you need to slow down to me, and then I'll slow down to Chris. We'll be together.
80 seconds. Chris is.
Yeah, and slow down for him. Slow down for him. Let me pass.
No.
Make sure you murder James on the way.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna become a breakfast player.
I'm being way too cautious on the first corner.
Yeah, I keep doing that. Like,
Yeah, I do it because I want to track those.
also you can absolutely hit the inside sausages on that. It actually helps you corner.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it.
Because the problem is like, because the car's not pressing itself down and hard into the track, the inside tyres on any corner are like way into space. So basically they have no weight on them, meaning you can absolutely smash the curbs. And there's almost no penalty for it. The only downside is obviously the rear tyres. If they obviously bounce into the air, then you'll lose traction under acceleration. But provided you're accelerating, you're just coasting through a corner or like half throttle, you can absolutely murder them.
Yeah, it's what I've been doing. I felt like gap's 20 and I'm back to 19, I'm back to 8. Which is what I've been doing.
Oh, Josh is getting away from me again. Izzy's getting
Lund
closer by like
underscore
2
gaming
seconds a lap.
raid. Woo!
I'm doing like laps where I'm like mid
No
13s
raiders.
and then laps.
Lund raid. It's a written raid rather than a ping raid, but still appreciate it.
Am I second?
Come on!
Oh, all that pushing has absolutely roasted my tyres.
Funnily enough, I see a Brandon and a milkshake, but no Lund yet. You've been raided by the Vikings. Time to
Oh,
plunder
James
and
got
burn.
again.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Why would you want to burn things?
I know what's causing it, but it's
slow car
actually
ahead.
adapting to it and learning from it. It's the hard part. It's just the tyre where it goes.
I have no faith that there is a Lund here at all. You're lying to me.
Right foot gets less and less over the course of the race.
You might have fallen asleep from the sailing. Where were you sailing to and from?
Not on the last
Were you in
the last Brooklyn,
Stormworks?
Stowe, and
Is that what it's called?
are the 3 ones that you lose so much time on.
That was fucking awful. Your braking points earlier, you just go. It's just a fucking.
No, but you said you were going to plunder and burn, and it's like, why would you burn things if you're going to plunder them? It doesn't make any sense to me. Because then you just plunder burn
What, you wanna
items.
go there, Josh?
Mate, that's just a fair limit there.
Despite not being a
James,
fire
what
watch,
I
you
take
like watching fire. Yes, but surely you want to
Alright,
plunder the
fine.
things that aren't on fire, no?
I really
That's
Not
absolutely ridiculous. he was like 5 car lengths behind me, halfway up the straight, and passed me. easily.
No, that was you, Milkshake. That wasn't Lund.
He ran wide.
This whole section is horrible now. The tyres are just gone.
The tyres are a little bit
Not
slidey.
Yes.
I've hit and I'm still sliding.
Yeah, Cianto and I are a little bit slidey. I want to prove Izzy wrong. It's Prove, but yes.
Oh, fucking Broncos back.
Oh no, you murdered another tyre.
Yeah.
Do you murder a tire as well?
Dunno. We'll see. We'll see how the cookie crumbles.
Don't worry, I have multiple times. Don't worry, it'll happen again.
Spin, spin-a-lin, spin, spin-a-loo, spin, spin,
I've only
spin.
taken
In
Josh
the-
4 times now this race because I've spun him behind him, so don't worry.
We should do another crazy balancing thing where that the pros are required to run both compounds at a time.
Ben,
I mean,
right.
that could be a
Yeah.
Impossible to police, but let's do it.
I was gonna say it's a meme race anyway, right?
So the what? So we
Race.
start on a dry race, and it's wet tyres, yeah.
Everybody else here is quite good.
Yeah. Two.
Just you.
No, it sounded normal to me.
Sounds like
James, slow down.
Would you
I
believe I'm
see
on for my
Zeke.
fastest lap
I
race
see
at the
Chris.
moment?
She's close again. This would be my second overtake of the whole freaking race, because it was me and Lambert at the beginning. And Lambert quit. And then
Sad. I'm having to be a bit conservative because my tyres
Just a
are
racing
slippery.
series about a good rage quit. I don't rage quit, I just like sad quit.
Yeah.
There is no rage
It's like
in it.
sad.
Disappointed quit.
Yeah, just resignation quit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's happened again.
This happened again. Oh
shit.
no.
That's why you don't tend to drive. Oh, fuck.
And mate, I'm coming for you. Slow down.
You're not, mate.
Mate, just slow down.
I'm coming for you.
Hey, just chill. Just take it out. Just chill out.
oh, again with the blue flags. It's 1.5 seconds behind.
No blue flags. Pro solidarity.
Yes,
And then them's the rules are written down.
keep her up there. Slow her down.
I mean, I want to finish on the lead left if I can, but I got 9 minutes of defending. Which is a lot in a GT4 against the GT3.
Yeah, but it's you against me.
This is true, but
It's
before me
still
and
a
you did
lot.
really good racing last time. Oh my god, she's going right up the inside on the first corner.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
And Izzy's through.
Yeah.
Before we even get to the braking zone, I'm like,
He might still spin.
Yeah, she may.
she may.
He
We're
will.
gonna do that too slowly.
I do it slowly because my tyres are slippy.
Okay, so it's way less
You
slippy.
won't
If,
off
if
a
you,
lot in the final 10 minutes of this race, unless it be an hour.
you kind of take those two corners that are basically the same fourth gear speed.
I
You just
don't
have
do
to
it
come
in
into
fourth gear.
off throttle.
I do it in third.
Ah, you can do it.
No, you can do it in fourth.
This is true. Oh, this is also why I closed up to you, because I'm still doing it in fourth in the GT4 car.
I think a good part of like the problems I have are just like GT3 muscle memory, and then my brain
Yes.
being like, what the fuck's
Exactly.
going on?
That's the problem
Yeah.
I have every season switching cars. It's like first two races is just muscle memory deletion. From, like whatever the car used to do.
I feel
I
so
also-
bad, James.
The difference in gearing is really hard to get used to because like your rhythm is set so much by what gears you're in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like how quickly you go down through the gears.
Yeah, gear changes are slower just
That's
because the
what
engine
I
decelerates slower.
really struggled with in this race, even though it's a Porsche GT3 car, is the gears are so different.
I think Izzy will get me for the end of this race. I will fight her hard. I'll part the car. on
I'll
the edge.
fight her in the beaches.
I will fight her on the inside curbs.
It was like 10 car lengths behind.
I will fight her on the apexes.
Oh,
This is
not the
not
apexes.
supposed to be doing the overtake, but okay, I will do it. I will take it.
That's surely a trap. Surely.
Is it apexes or is it api?
Actually, it did give me no overtake, no time gain.
I'm not being funny, James, but you just don't take me for it.
Sorry, that means you can drag. Just be Alonso.
Like, quite literally, you've just ran on.
Celebrate on the radio a blatantly illegal overtake.
Yes!
Yes!
That was so funny.
I just want to clarify, are you allowed to overtake off the track?
I want more Alonso v the Alfa Romeo's content.
We need more of the radio where we hear the
I like the
team
FIA. Yeah, the
saying-
FIA radio
yeah.
is great.
Chris is saying it's like overtaking the track limits.
No, I never said such things.
It's like Evan James did.
No, it's not
You know
okay.
what's
I mean-
funny? On that lap, I did my
not
fastest
okay,
lap of
mate.
the entire
Oh,
race.
did he?
When I caught up to you, that was my fastest lap of the
Oh,
entire
there's a
race.
straight here.
There's a straight everywhere, mate.
But yeah, somehow that's how much the
No, you
difference is in
don't.
the pace
No, you don't.
and you
No, you
can't.
don't.
Clear on the right. Yellow
Oh
flag
my
ahead.
gosh,
Good
you've
job.
won.
As I said, you've got but
Slow
yeah,
car ahead.
I started so far behind you.
Was that reasonable?
We come to 2 points. Yep.
Jesus Christ. Was that reasonable racing, Josh? Josh,
You two race. He's still trying to race you.
I know. Okay, Chris, was my overtake reasonable?
I was far too far back, but I just saw you switching positions
No,
and
it
Josh
was.
screaming.
I was
Okay.
surprised you didn't hit me.
Okay, I was being really careful not to hit you.
Dave, just come
Ah, now you're too far ahead.
I don't say 5 minutes left.
5 minutes
I
left,
think
gap,
you-
4
you
seconds.
mean.
I was absolutely sending it into those two slow corners.
You really were. I had to like keep a. I was focused way on you. I was like, I'm glad I know this track because I was like, where the fuck is Josh?
Yeah, I backed out of it this time. I didn't want to do another side by side.
Chris
It's
behind
cool.
me. Fuck.
Don't overtake me again off the track.
Going into the hairpin, Josh, I had to back right off because I was like, is he really sending it right through here?
He is.
I think I do.
He
Think
did.
I would like. I'm looking forward to do this on the small circuits.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should fill the calendar with the
Very
British
slow there and
G2
yes.
tracks.
I,
So I think on those ones we'll be in a much better position to take them behind.
Can we not do the one I hated again though?
oh god. You might as well
Oh,
tuck
no.
him to the
Because to be
slipstream,
honest,
but
with Izzy particularly, like it's the straights will get her past, and now she's gone. If there are shorter straights and it's corners, it's much more even between the two cars because
Yep. Brands Hatch would be
Yeah.
very interesting because GT4 I bet will handle all those bumps a lot better than GT3 will. But there's like obviously
Yes.
this one
fast corners
long
at the back end are
straight,
gonna be
which
really
is
hard
kind of
to-
bad. But yeah, you won't be able to overtake easily there.
the whole back of the circuit where you have the long straight and then the two fast right-handers will be murder for a GT4. Because you have
True,
gaps.
but the only overtake is on the first bit because after that it's going to be following the order, or
Yeah.
everyone dies.
yeah. You say that, but some of the overtakes I've done in this race are, my god, they are not places I want to be doing moves.
I'm still adamant that Zolder would be an amazing one because there's such a short number of like proper straights. Never hit 6th gear. There's very few high-speed corners, like proper high-speed corners. It's a lot of just chicane work.
I've done round the outside and down the inside at turn 1. They're not spots I want to be overtaking cars, but they are just places that I've had overspeed and had to go for a move or crash into the back of them.
I'm close to Daisy all of a sudden. What's she doing?
She's running out of fuel.
Oh no!
Oh no! Wait, did you
She's
just
used to
load this
being a
setup?
lap down. She's used to being a lap down, and she's
Just
not.
load it. Did you ever set your fuel, Izzy, or did you just
I
use
did
the
set my
button?
fuel, and I think I've got it right, but I'm conserving it a little bit because what does it matter to me if he's lapped or not?
Oh, it's true.
It's two laps or one lap.
Yeah, I know. It says
flexible.
2 left at the moment. I'm just seeing how it's gonna go.
Car on the right.
Can't remember
Have-
the
have
rules
fun.
for Lambo.
Oh, it still says 2 laps. I think I'm gonna be okay.
I have 8 laps left.
I have 6.
I have 11. No, wait, 4. 11 litres,
Oh,
4
fuck.
laps.
I have 24 litres left.
It's in the mud.
Just a little mud. Just a little bit of mud.
Gone.
I
It's
ran
on the
in the mud.
inside. Oh, he's going for it. Oh, he's ahead, going into the straight, and it goes away.
Clear on the right.
I absolutely murdered Anton that way on the straights.
Wait, James, like I said,
I am accelerating away slowly, Chris. Just FYI.
10 car lengths back, it was ridiculous.
So to clarify, you're mocking me, got it.
And this was on the shorter straight as well, to turn 1.
I see Josh. I've got a Cianto hop behind me as well.
Yeah.
I'm just slowing down. I want to be part of this.
It's absolute
I'm
shit.
glad
house
this
is
is
about to
last
kick
lap
off.
though. Or 2 more laps.
Oh my god.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Oh my
There's a
lord.
slow car up ahead.
She's sending it.
Oh!
Oh, Ciento and Izzy are a second apart again now.
Yeah. Because I had to slow right down.
One bit higher.
She's so quick.
Let's keep a slipstream of Izzy or someone. Somebody, anyone. Don't leave me
Car on
behind.
the left. Clear on the left.
Oh my god.
Car on the left. Clear on
We
the
can
left.
keep her behind. It's
I know a
possible.
lot.
We have the
It was
technology.
dangerous, it was scary.
He's big man.
This race has been a lot of fun.
Grace, hi Grace.
Hi, bye.
Just parking it on the inside
Car
and
on the
praying.
Right, you've just started the
Oh, it's my lap now.
Bring it up. Clear on the right.
I mean, I wouldn't have
Oh,
been
it actually went for another lap. Oh god.
Yeah. We were
There
so
2
close.
seconds left on it.
I know.
You can do it, Anne. I believe in you.
I mean, I'm fine on fuel. It's just fatigue. It's oh god, this is gonna be a nightmare.
This is like when you complete a game, you replay it on hard mode.
Yeah, it is.
I've got that.
Cianto all over me.
Car on the right.
Josh, bye Josh.
Clear on the right.
Cianto
Send
through.
it, Cianto.
Oh my god.
Oh god, is he?
Oh, he's gone wide. He's off the track.
Gap between Chris and Josh down to half a second. Oh, Josh down the inside, send it!
Oh,
Oh, it's a fair overtake. If a bold one.
Doing the out special.
Got me beside Cianto, but he just drove away. Just gone.
Why have I got that bad gear for that? What am I doing? Oh fuck, I've got 3 deep now. Oh shit.
Yes, this was the entire point of these cars, were to give the Ams the chance to win, and they've taken it. It's good to see.
all over me.
And the fact that the leaders swapped so many times between the two of them as well is amazing.
It's
Oh,
it's
God,
no,
no,
it's
the
swapped
exit.
twice.
Oh, he's
Go on,
going
Grace, go on, Grace.
It swapped twice, Chris.
Oh my god, I've done the exact same fucking thing again.
Uh,
No, not like this.
It's been more than twice.
I've got a puncture. Fuck.
Got 2 litres left. That was so close. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Cianto with a little error. Got him.
Yes.
Only lap by one
Rewind the
car,
car, Nico
ticket.
Bruno and Becky's gonna win this body.
Oh my goodness. That was hairy towards the end. Jesus Christ.
Ah!
Right, guys, I saw it opportunity.
Just turn into everyone coming down the street.
I saw an opportunity. I had to take the opportunity. So
Oh.
that one was even sensitive. Oh my god.
You are not paying attention, sir.
Oh, my car's like fucked.
Oh dear. I hurt.
I can't accelerate anymore.
Yeah, my leg is killing me now.
Josh, don't worry. I'm coming to congratulate you.
I was about to
no.
get DQ'd.
Ah.
And got disqualified.
I don't fucking care. That was fun.
We need the data. Stop it.
He's out.
Oh,
It
You
kicked him.
invalidate and clear it all, because you...
Oh, my legs hurt so much.
yeah, we haven't done an hour race in a while. That's quite tiring.
That
was alright.
Hello, Spinala.
Ugh.
Only 1 lap. That was actually incredible. I thought I'd be way more than that. In an hour. With no pit stops.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh,
this wheel
dear.
is bouncing all over the place.
You can do it, the jams!
This is me trying to keep the car straight.
I need to watch this. Let's watch some live action from On Board with James.
Oh god.
Watch it with the wheel in view just for maximum effect.
Who won? I won!
Yeah,
Well done, Izzy. Congrats.
1.5 litres left in my fucking car, no
Izzy's
laps
victory.
left.
Oh, god.
perfect calculation.
I'm
Yes, but I did slow down just in case.
I've put a message in.
Yeah, if he says,
no, I'm not going to be there.
Monday it is.
Hopefully.
I always
Despite
forget
all the
when I'm
distracting
stopping.
raids you want. I did, Milkshake, I
I
did.
don't want the replay. I want to return to garage. Right?
Oh, do you know what I want to know? I want to know what my fucking consistency percentage was.
I might have to create a custom event for that to work.
Green light.
Severe
Go, go, go,
flat
go.
spot on the front right.
Oh, yeah,
That's why it was bouncing all over the place.
Where's my tyre?
Guys, I have a question. It's a good question. When does
Yes.
Izzy get into silver? Because we judge silver drivers off of Izzy.
I mean, it's not perfect system. I was literally gonna just change it based on what's in like
Yeah.
sensible.
Those tyres were shot and severe.
The other thing
flat
is
spot
my
on the front
speed
right
is still not
twice.
silver. My consistency is silver. See, the thing is, I'm weird. Most people improve their speed then their consistency. I've done it backwards.
Yeah.
I
It's because you are getting a lot quicker still either way.
Yeah.
Ah!
It's a constantly moving goalpost, so it just makes it a terrible system as well.
Yeah, my left rear was 2.41 at the end.
The
My
consistency to get into pro is
Oh, no, I want the other way play.
I definitely need to do a pit
Okay.
stop in an hour-long race. There is zero way I can control the car for an hour on
Yeah, I
those
think, I think
tyres.
if we do
Yeah,
like
they can't.
hour-long races again, the balance should be like 2 pit stops for pro and then like 1 for silver or whatever.
you think
that is
we
not
need to pit
balanced.
at all?
Pro being AM this time round.
Yeah, because I mean like I kind of want to pit. Hours and hours, long time.
Yeah, I need to pit with that tyre wear.
I mean, I can do it easily. I can do it easily if not, but others might not be able to, or might struggle more. Where am I? Replays. This is
Yeah,
galleries.
that's what I
No,
just
is it
loaded
galleries?
up
Yes.
replay.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
go to the finals at the end.
Yeah, this one.
So Josh has half an hour.
Let's have a look, shall we?
What do you mean?
That's not the right replay.
Oh, it's only the last half of the race. Fanta.
I can show mine. Mine's
Why is it only the last
hour.
half of the race? I just saved the
What's the
replay.
settings on? It might be that you have
Ow.
some replay
Right,
link.
Ow,
Um,
ow,
you
ow,
can
ow,
stream
ow,
it,
ow.
I'll show
Sorry.
you guys in a minute. I will be right back.
Well, fuck. I guess I can see the last. I mean, to be fair, most race was boring for me anyway.
We've got them, don't worry.
Are we doing unusual after race entertainment once we've looked at the replays?
What, wish.com?
I mean, I have actually just seen something on wish.com if you want to put your eyes and can't talk.
So, I'm really curious though, even though the cup car was obvious banter for James, if
Okay, this is
Oh,
the banter bit.
if both AMs had a mandatory pit stop, I think everyone could have finished on the lead lap, provided that obviously no excessive damage pit.
Yeah.
That would be one simple rule that make it really easy.
Okay, I got the last couple of laps up. The Izzy dive bombs. I quite like it because like just doing this like extreme defensive driving when you know you're up against it.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see me on you. Is it and lap 28?
I've got it. I've got
27.
it. up now on my,
It'll screw
Oh,
up because
cool.
I'm streaming
Oh,
at the
right.
same time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lap like halfway through lap 26 for me. So probably 27 for you.
Where is Josh? It's hard to tell because it wasn't for position.
Honestly, in terms of like, I know like the actual like the straight line speed and the actual pace of the car in clean air puts the AMs way ahead. But when you're racing each other wheel to wheel, it makes it quite even.
Yeah, you've
because,
also
like,
got to
because,
remember
like-
that you guys are better at wheel-to-wheel racing, so that's where the
Exactly,
evening comes
exactly,
in.
Yeah. So like the car advantage just means that like you're like braking closer and like you're much more equal. Obviously, once you get past in the straight, you drive away. But when we're actually wheel to wheel, as it is right now, it's quite even between the GT4s and the GT3s.
Yeah. Because I've got to figure out what the living fuck I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and then Tianto.
Oh, Yeah, because when Izzy got ahead of me at the start of one of the laps, and I followed into Maggotts and Beckett's, I took the corner so much faster. I had to actually get on the brakes to like not.
Yeah, yeah, it was weird.
And then I got a really good exit and basically managed to chase her down.
And then this is.
quite well.
Oh, then this is actually at my dive on Monsanto. This.
Yeah, it went by to the
chicane. We had a little bit of contact as
Side
Cianto
by
turned
side. It's me and Izzy down into the first corner.
I'm trying to still find it.
in. And then
Oh,
Cianto
there's
just
Josh.
drives away from Chris.
It is insane. The pace I was getting just down to turn 1 was crazy.
Oh, the milk corp thing I did on my car totally works at a distance. Yeah.
I'm gonna struggle with it, but I'd be okay to do a full season in that cup car.
So yeah, I think if the AM have like a mandatory pit stop for tyres that they can essentially do halfway through the race to both reduce the fuel loads, they can do half and half fuel loads and also change tyres.
And get everyone used to dealing with setups, because obviously AMS won't be doing that on their ones.
Yeah, I think I need a pit stop as well.
Good.
I don't have the rear tyres to do a full race.
And also when you're on Brooklands, like you park yourself on the inside of Brooklands, it's really hard for the car to overtake you.
I don't know what one Brooklands is.
The second or the last corner, the last braking zone off the
Right.
straight. Well, and because if you go on the inside and you go across the curb, it's so hard for them to go all the way around.
My tyre wear was
I
worse
found where we are,
than
Josh.
30
I found us
minutes
racing.
rather than the 40 minutes we did.
Racing. Battling.
Then
Battling, yeah. I got so close to you then, jeez. Going round you, out the outside of the corner. Jesus.
And Lambert's streaming at the moment, so he won't reply.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I see why you were so much closer to me, Josh. You hit the curb when you were coming round, when you were trying to come back at me. When you were sending it, you hit the curb. I don't know.
Let me get your stream up.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm watching
the levels of shithousery with the curbs is amazing.
Okay, I have your stream up now.
Yeah, cool. So at the moment, I'm just watching. I'm still behind you. Because I went too far back. But anywho, that's fine. Because I overtake you very shortly.
I'm trying to cut back to the fight with Cianto that was actually really quick in the last few laps.
So this one is where I almost hit you. Obviously, it's delayed for you, but
yeah.
And then
Josh just sends it down the inside.
On the next couple of corners, yeah, you try and send it, and you tip yourself off on the curb, which is why you almost hit me just there, where you ended up very close.
I like. Yeah, I just hit the curb. And I was just trying to squeeze myself in.
And it was like right there. It was like, ooh, the pain. So close.
Yeah, and then the problem is you were then parked on the inside for this corner, like the next corner, and I couldn't. Because the one advantage this GT4 has got, I think, is that at very low speeds, like this corner, it rotates a bit better. You get like less understeer, and it will stick to the inside of the curb.
Yeah, I noticed you were able to go around the corners easier. Yeah.
So like, if you could just position yourself on the inside there and like just sneak up the inside, you can get round the apex quicker, and then you're a little bit ahead onto the straight. Obviously, they then eat.
Oh my god, I need to cut back to this because this is fucking amazing.
And then after I overtook you, Josh, I was like, fuck, I've got no fuel.
Josh doing his defensive on the inside, which stunted Cianto's run. I got a run with a bit of slipstream on him. And I was like so close, but not quite. Cianto goes deep, I keep the inside. And then, then just had to pin to the inside and then stay there. I hope he doesn't come back. But yeah, that's how we had it.
The reason for that is, as I was saying, is because when I go into that corner, I take the inside, and then I can stick to the left, and then go across the curb towards the apex of the final corner.
Yeah.
It means that Cianto has no way to get round at GT3 speed. He has to slow down because there's no way that he can go all the way around and then beat me to the apex of the last corner. So he can't take the inside there.
Thank you,
And
James.
Of course, like
Alright.
to then get to the outside requires him to like go across the track.
That's a whole year,
And
mate.
Just like
Yeah.
you can just like remove his
Here's
space.
James.
Nice. Is that what you were talking about, the purple button for being a
Yeah.
year?
The
Oh,
purple
wait.
button is literally the button is literally purple in Twitch.
Also, Josh's rejoin at the start wasn't that bad.
The share
Could've-
button is purple.
Could have been
That's
a little
cool.
better, but
I was mostly trying to stay in control of the car. I didn't actually have my foot down.
Yeah, I found a lot of the times that it was better for me to back off completely through the corners and then just get you on the straight. When I was coming up on the back of Ants into Maggots and Beckett's, I
There's
just backed
Josh
off
again.
completely through Maggots and Beckett's, lost 2 seconds through Maggots and Beckett's, and just streamed straight past him on the straight.
I mean, racing Lambert was so much fun. I seem to just remember us being side by side a couple of times, but there were a few restarts, so I can't remember exactly which ones they were.
So I'm pretty sure the only reason I was able to finish the race with my fuel was because I had that one lap where I was like, I'm just gonna chill this lap, because when I started it I had like 20 seconds back to Cianto, but obviously I was like, oh fuck, Cianto's like 2 seconds behind me now, I better speed up again.
And also the fact
so
that
close.
it was literally
was.
2 seconds on the line as well.
It was, I thought I was gonna make it, but I didn't.
When I saw that, my heart sunk. It was like, no, I've got to do another lap.
The speed of that McLaren in the corners is so much higher than the BMW. Crazy.
Yeah, they all get their speed in different ways.
Yeah, it's like noticeable. I mean, obviously the size of the car is probably a massive difference.
Yes. I mean, you have all the BMW memes.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious if
I went off
end up
because
with
I'm a dick.
greater straight line
I
power,
think
maybe.
Chris was really
I don't
close.
know.
I was starting to control the throttle better towards the end. I learnt that in the second half of my stints, I needed to be a gear higher in every corner.
Yeah.
Or traction.
Oh yeah. If you short shift, it massively helps. Yeah.
Yeah, because at the start of my stints, I was first through the loop, and by the end of my stints, I was in second through the loop.
Yeah, Lambert's various cuts where it got him up to the penalty limit.
Yes, but I didn't cut at all.
And he, at some point, just lost it or something.
He crashed it into Adaway at some point.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye on him. See what happens. But,
Oh,
that's really
there's
fun.
Josh again.
I like the
overtook
slow, the slow creeping doom of the GT4 team, just like chasing down the GT3s.
Yes.
Like, it's like if you screw up, we're there. We're gonna.
Yeah.
We're there if you do.
Oh my
anything
god,
wrong.
so many cars right there on the
Which-
second to last lap. Jesus Christ.
It's what I
No, on the
had
last lap.
last week with you chasing me down. I had that pressure the entire end of my stint with you chasing me down.
That was such a good
And-
race. That was so much
Yeah,
fun.
it was exhausting.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I 100% Cianto. I definitely see that. It's one of the reasons I can't do so much
Yeah.
driving all in one go.
Oh yeah, I had the same. That I started. I actually started late today because dinner was late. I started at 6:30 till 9:30.
I think my hips have been getting better, able to deal with it. I think part of that might be to do with the running I've been doing. Just generally everything getting a little bit more
What's going
Back forward,
stronger
cut
and
that.
stuff. But yeah, I would love for my hips just to go back to the way they were. I mean,
Somewhere on this lap because he just goes.
I
lap
can
3 and-
understand that, having gone from literally being bedbound to building up to stuff. Yeah, you've noticed the difference when you go from that low level to up.
yeah. You also notice it the
And
other way
I've lost
around,
it all
though.
over the lockdown. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
lost
you noticed
over
it the other
lockdown.
way because I used to
Coming
have quite a
sounds
lot
fun.
of like strength and general
Then
Oh my god.
body ability.
he accelerated into Josh there.
Yeah, what was that? That's a mess.
There are so many cars together at the end lap.
It was the way he claimed he was
Yeah.
trying to get
Then
off
said-
the racing line, but he went the wrong way. He should have reversed to
Um,
get off the racing line there.
I mean, arguably
Because
that
the
whole
racing
area
line's
was the
on the
racing
inside.
line. But at the same time, when you stop moving, the best thing you can do is just stay still,
Stay where you
wait
are.
for traffic to pass, and then do your spin. And
It's
get
like
back
what
on.
they say when you see a spinning car ahead of you, aim for the car. Because 99 times out of 100, they're not going to be there when you get there.
Yeah. Oh, then he pulls off and quits. So that's the end of that race. Then we've got the ECC2 Eternal Battle.
Yeah. When do you remember when we swapped Ciento? Because I'm trying to. I'll find that.
Yeah.
What lap was it?
I believe it was about 40 minutes in.
Right, I'll be right back.
So about
Okay.
20.
I think 17 or 18 probably.
Okay, I'll have a look. See if I can find it. Because that was super fun. Like, you'd been chasing
Oh,
me
wait.
down all the
It-
time.
it's a lot earlier than that.
Okay.
You guys had some sort of overtake on a lap 18, and then a 19.
That might be what we're looking at then. Because
If
the
it
thing is,
has to be
Ciento
six-
kept getting close to me.
It has to be 16, I think. 16 or 17.
I just noticed that every time you got within about two to 1.5 seconds of me for a long time, you must have, I don't know, overextended or something, or just had a wiggle, and then you dropped back to about 4 seconds again, and it happened 4 or 5 times.
Well, it happened, yeah, a couple of times, but it
Yeah.
wasn't just 4 seconds.
Oh no, that was the first few. It was towards the end where you ended up dropping back. Like that one time you had the proper spin just afterwards. You ended up being like 20 seconds behind.
I was 20 seconds behind early on as well.
Mm.
So I grouped all the lap times by like fastest lap times. So it's just like Izzy and Ciento just swapping lap times for like the first like whatever.
There it is.
entries.
There it is. It's the end of lap 18, Ciento. That's when you overtake me.
Then we get James, but then there's like a very hard cut, and suddenly you get the GT4 cars all like together in a lump. Because we were all like about the same speed within about a second ish for a lot of our best laps. Starts at 2:11.6 and goes up to, well, 2:13 something and beyond.
There I go. Spinny spin spin. I didn't even have that much of a spin, but it was enough, and then you overtook me.
You were pretty close behind me again.
Yeah, I didn't lose a huge amount of time. I was really lucky with it.
That's why you were able to overtake me again
Man,
quite soon.
Izzy and the other AMs, like, car control has developed so much since we started doing the races.
Yeah.
Because like, there's like the bits where like I'm looking at that. It's like what is that 25 for Izzy, where we're side by side, and then I'm ascending it, and like the overtake she does on me after the Hamilton straight, the right-hander, like she's so close to me. Like she does that a few months ago. She just crashes into me.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like it's a really good overtake. You're just really close to me, but like you've got way more speed than me. You just go around the outside.
Yeah.
I've like parked it on the apex. It's just you've developed a lot. in
I
your
wouldn't have been able
car
to do it
control.
in the same class car as you, though.
No, of course not. But like, had we done this GT4 experiment, a few months ago,
Yeah.
it would have been much more hairy. I think.
Yes.
I feel like we're at the point now where, obviously, like you and the other AMs will make mistakes in the next season, definitely. But like, there's a measure of like I can trust you not to just like lose control of the car because there's another car on the track and just like shit your pants and cause an accident.
Yeah. There is
I
some
have,
of
I
that.
have trust that we can have a battle, and
Yes.
I have sort of trust that like I can be like aggressive in my defense.
A little bit
and
cheeky,
that,
you're
like,
saying.
you won't just, like, cause an accident immediately.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think some of it was helpful having the reverse starts. Because that
Yeah.
meant that, like, I had, kind of, everyone was
Yeah,
higgledy
practice.
piggledy. And yeah, you get practice at like actually having cars around you that are at random speeds.
Yeah, that was largely the point of those, because it didn't actually
Yeah.
do anything to change the end result of the races.
No.
Really.
No, but I think that's where I developed a lot of those skills, because I learned to, if I was closing on someone and I didn't know if I was going to shoot past them, I'd be slightly offline. You know, things like that, just so I didn't ram into the back of them and stuff. But yeah, I think the newer AMs, I haven't got there yet, but it is nice to, like,
Yeah.
see.
That's what I
Well-
really was hoping to see, was a full grid of like the 10 people, so we can have, because then we'll have cars all over the place constantly.
Yeah,
Overtakes and stuff.
yeah.
I mean, this race, only the beginning and the end were pretty much interesting to me.
Yeah.
The 40 minutes in between, I was like, well, I'll just drive and we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what mostly racing is, to be honest.
Yeah, but there was no car directly in front of me, no car anywhere near me behind me. I was like, well, I don't know.
I dropped it.
That's what I've had the past 5 seasons.
You were still very
Yeah.
consistent in closing the gap to me, though, Cianto. So
Yeah.
there was that. It was just the once you got to me, it was the difficulty in trying to pass me. I think
You
that.
had the pace, you just
Yeah.
need to work on consistency over the hour, which comes with practice. It
Also,
is
not gonna
difficult,
lie,
but it comes with
after-
practice.
After Lambert dropped, I had nothing to do for the whole race. So I was
Yeah.
here, and maybe I'll catch Josh, and it was catching him by like such a small number per lap. Didn't get past it. Didn't get
I
up to it.
mean, this is one more of the interesting races because I spun a lot, so like overtook someone, spun and ended up behind them, overtook someone, spun and ended up behind them.
Yeah. I think there were a load of times, Cianto, at the beginning of the race that you were really, really pushing me. You were really close behind me. And it looked like, you know, you were almost overtaking me in like some corners, or almost getting alongside at least. And I felt like, you know, I had to really be on it and keep everything, you know, properly and couldn't mess up at all. But I think some of it was whenever you went offline, you were then falling back because for whatever reason, whether it was just not having experience being offline very much or whatever, but that was kind of what I was seeing.
Offline braking is horrible. You like hit the brakes
Yeah.
and then nothing happens. You're like, well, I die, because yeah, you have to brake earlier on the inside, unfortunately. There's some tricks where like you brake earlier, but then as soon as you realise you're slowing down faster than the car like, on the outside, you just gently let go of the brake to like speed up a little bit more again, and try to manage that distance. But if you brake early, you can fix it. If you brake late, you can't fix it. You're just going you're gonna slow as much as you can, but that's all. Goodness. Yeah, that's fun. So.
What's the track list for next season? Have we not?
I'll stick a vote up for it, and then we'll go.
Yeah,
for
we
like a
haven't
week to
decided
figure
yet. But
it out. Rule set's the difficult one because it's like right now it's like Pro in GT4, AM in GT3 with a pit stop for tyres, and then the silver question mark. Because it could be silver with obviously with a pit stop for the same penalty as AM.
Even if
But
I'm not mandated to stop, I'm making a pit stop because I can't handle that tyre wear.
okay.
On the performance of that, it might change through the season, but as things stand, I can't handle the rears for the entire race.
Did you try the cup car at low fuel, James?
Sorry, I keep muting because I'm eating as well. But, yeah, I did low fuel and quali.
Okay, how was that to control? Was that
I
okay or
felt fine.
worse?
Yeah, I felt perfectly fine on low fuel. It's when the tyre wear kicks in, I struggle.
In that
So I'm burning up the rears.
Okay.
Lambert has answered, by the way.
He said, "Yeah, we have."
We have.
Okay.
That means
yeah,
that's misspelled, isn't it?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, so in other words, if the cup car a silver was like hitting anyway halfway through the race on half the fuel weight and fresh tyres halfway through the race, would likely increase the speed while also still giving you that hold back. Did you pit
Yeah.
on this test
I
race?
hit the halfway point, or as close to the halfway point as I could. It was about 33 minutes I pitted on, and I had worse tyre wear than I had on the 40 minutes out in the GT3.
Yeah.
I
I'll tell you,
was
my
honestly-
tyres.
I
Go on,
was
Santa.
honestly
It was all
tempted to
rear
pit
tyre
as
wear.
well.
Fronts were about the same. It was the rears that had trouble.
Sorry,
So
what was that,
my
Ciento?
acceleration that's the problem.
I was tempted to pit as well.
Yeah, I think if it had gone on longer than an hour, I would have definitely pit. It was just on the limit at the end.
It's a push to do an hour at Silverstone on one
Mm.
set of tyres.
My GT4 tyres, the front left was down to like 1.5 tread left, which is like half of the full available tread. And you really start to notice the drop off at like 2, apparently. It's like you start to cliff it a bit. But then the other thing is that's what I know of GT3 tyres. I don't know if GT4 is exactly the same. And also the amount you lose is like it gets exponentially sort of less as time goes on, and then it just cliffs it right at the
He's
end.
just got close again.
But I don't know. But yeah, like Josh says, it is a bit of a pain to drive for like an hour without any sort of break, or like something to break it up. Like, so the thing is that if we do, I'll try to think now. The thing is, GT4 kind of can't pit really unless it forces everyone else to do another pit stop. Otherwise, it won't balance. It'll just imbalance again.
Yeah, the only way to do GT4s pitting would be 2 pit stops for those that aren't in GT4s.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's just more opportunities to screw it up, and
Yeah.
pit stop also means loss of extra seconds around the actual pit stop itself.
Yeah.
Difficult to
Because
do
even in
well.
my pit stop today, it took a little while for the car to pick it up because I didn't put it perfectly straight.
Yeah.
On the yellow.
Which is how it should be.
You are.
That's become my new caption on the profile. It's been I miss your washing instructions for too long.
Mon the Yoa.
What does mon mean?
Come on.
Oh. Cool.
Abbreviation of an abbreviated.
I know, right?
There's a few ideas.
One of my colleagues told me a shorthand today, and I've completely forgotten it already. It's one that I didn't know.
Yes, it wasn't short enough.
Oh, who did that? Oh, who just turned into you? What a dickhead.
Ah, I spun. Ah, Ciento, you did on lap 6 exactly what I did when you were tailing me, that allowed you to overtake.
It was always the same 2 places I spun out. Start of Maggots and Beckett's and through the loop. Which is where you would expect the traction to be on the limit, so not that surprising.
Interesting. So we have an hour race with amateur lot do 2 pit stops.
Yeah,
Could
so it'd
make
be
it-
20-minute stints.
We can make it quite easy because
Right, I'm going to leave it there, everybody, just simply because I've seen all the things I wanted to see, I think. It was a good race. I enjoyed it. Ciento was really pushing me in a lot of places, which was fun. And I almost ran out of fuel at the end, which was just my fault. But yeah, no, that was good fun. Hopefully we'll be able to generate an entire rookie season based around that, which will be good fun, I think. And I think it really helped my my safety go up, yeah. Because I was leading the laps, and I don't think I had any contact with anybody or parts of the track, so that was pretty good. But yes, thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully I'll be able to stream again tomorrow. Need to find out what I'm going to be streaming. It was going to be Resident Evil 5 with Night, but I think his laptop exploded, and I think he's still got some things to sort out from that. So not literally exploded, but you know, it stopped working. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.